For real? Oh, no. Tacky. Let's go.
Boston
State of OH! Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA! USA! USA!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey! What? Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Here We Go Thursday. This sports program begins now.
Sport!
Are the greatest, and today we'll be celebrating damn near all of them. We have a guest from the baseball world. Paul Skenes will be joining us. We have a guest from the basketball world. Quentin Richardson will join us. Rich, friend of the program. We have a broadcast sports show, so we'll have somebody from all those Hall of Fames. Mike Greenberg will be joining us.
Nice.
Now, people haven't seen Mike Greenberg on this show in a long time. Greeny is different on this show than he is on all the other shows. I would like to say that we get a much more free, open version of Greenberg. He'll always come in here with things that he's been wanting to say, but on Get Up, doesn't feel as if he can say. You know, he's point guard on Get Up to the experts. Nobody wants to hear my thoughts. We have him on here. He has his thoughts.
That's right.
And we love hearing Greeny's thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Classic, old school sports fan guy. And he is obsessed with it, which is why we respect him so much. Going on 30 years, has never won an Emmy.
Crazy.
That tracks.
Has never won a sports Emmy, okay, and does not care. Has zero cares at all about. Cannot wait to chat with him. And then obviously all roads, okay, all roads are leading right to Bret Michaels of Poison.
Hell yeah.
He'll be joining us at about 1:40, 1:45, 1:50-ish there towards the end of the second hour on ESPN as we continue into digital. Bret Michaels from Butler, Pennsylvania, which is obviously Western Pennsylvania, which is obviously Pittsburgh. He'd go on to have a smashing singing career with Poison and then as an independent artist as well. Bret Michaels, obviously every rose has its thorns, 6 songs in the top 10, and he's a Yinzer legend, okay? He found love in a bus. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're still together, but he is going to be performing at the NFL draft. That was announced this morning. Him, Wiz Khalifa, and Kane Brown.
Boom.
Wow.
So,
Sick.
free concert, free draft, free fun, free football stuff happening in Pittsburgh starting in April on the 23rd.
Yes. That's
Is the
draft day.
Thursday.
Yep.
We're going to be there. Cannot wait to get out there. Wiz Khalifa on the stage, always good. He is a, I don't want to say a magician, but he's a guy who sounds exactly like what it sounds like in Spotify. We have seen him a couple different times be at a level of good time that you think to yourself, there's no way that guy is going to be able to go and nail, every single word. This guy's, Wiz is unbelievable. He's one of the most talented people I've ever seen. And now you see him, he's in super.
Oh, yeah, he's jacked.
Absolutely, Jack.
And he's like, he's going to.
Steelers might
Yeah,
draft
he's
him.
going to be. He's going to walk out on a stage and kill it. So Bret and Wiz on Friday, Kane Brown, I believe, on Saturday. Free concert, free football shit all weekend for the draft in Pittsburgh. We cannot wait to get out there. I mean, today's a huge day because Schefter will be joining us in about 2 minutes as well. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Do the Red Sox play the Yankees? Is this like something that's
wish.
happening right now?
No, I wish because we'd probably give it to them pretty good. The Sox are 1-5, so we're.
I heard you guys are the worst in all MLB.
We are tied, and what does that mean? That's like being the worst team in the preseason of the NFL. It does not matter. Real baseball starts in April. Some would even say it starts in May. So we're not worried right now. By the way, I'm wearing a Roman Anthony shirt. Okay, it's the Roman era. It might as well be the Roman Empire. He was 1-for-1 with a home run. Is that good? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay.
1-for-1? I didn't know you could do that.
Finally, someone said...
You got D-Row coaching that team up there? We're not playing the Roman Anthony?
Please, if D-Row was coaching that team, we'd be more worried about the warm-ups than we are about the actual baseball. That's why we're going to
1-5. D-Row would have that team at least 4-2.
Not true. We know that's not true.
D-Row was operating on restrictions from the MLB teams that nobody else was allowed to know about because MLB teams look like assholes. They were only allowed to do a certain amount of this, a certain amount of that. Only allowed to talk so many words to certain guys because MLB didn't want him to say as much. This guy couldn't motivate all that he wanted to motivate. And you're here saying that you could be worse than 1-5? I don't think so. You guys are worse in the league.
D-Row couldn't motivate because he was calling him McHuya, okay, every other day to give the boys
McHuya gave a good speech.
Not good enough, it seems, unfortunately.
They won when McHuya talked.
Okay, yeah. Did they win? Did they win it all? No. So it really does. Let's celebrate silvers around here and then see what'll start happening, okay? All of a sudden, the whole
you guys would be dying to be a silver right now, 1-5. You're worse than all of MLB.
We'd rather go 0-162 than win a silver. That's how much we want the gold. And I'm not worried about the Sox, okay? We finally are getting back to Fenway. We haven't been home yet, all right? So sue us. We had a slow start. We had to play in Houston and in Cincinnati, two of the grittiest clubs out there. Yeah, I think we're going to be just fine, especially Roman Anthony at the helm, okay?
Okay, I'm sure they're thankful to hear your optimism because 1-5's tough.
This ain't football. Okay, this ain't football. We might as well be 0 in a quarter of a game. if this was football. All right, we're not even hitting our stride. We're gonna get hot at the right time, not when nobody cares at the beginning.
How are the Yankees? Ass? Are we good?
No, Yankees are 5-1, and they actually their rotation has the lowest ERA in like the history of baseball through this many games. So I agree with Connor. At this point in the season, you're not really gonna be jumping over hoops or anything like that. But when you have a historically great pitching staff in a league that's been around for, almost 150
Garrett
years.
Cole's not even there yet.
Yeah, and 3 of your guys are actually hurt right now, not playing. You're feeling pretty good. So, the Yankees are going to be just fine.
How's Judgy doing? We getting
Not
hits?
great, but that's the.
We're not getting hit still?
Well, Judgy's got 2 dingers, so it's not, but he doesn't look like, mid-June Judgy.
How's Jazz Chisholm doing? We love him.
He's had a little bit of a slow start.
What? Everybody we know? What is going on?
No, it's okay. They just got done playing in Seattle. It's cold as shit out there. It's rainy. You're not ready. And like the Red Sox, they haven't been home yet. They got the home opener at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. But there's a difference.
5-1.
Yeah, we're 5-1.
That's different. Okay,
They're 1-5.
They got real pitchers. All our pitchers are bringing us spaghetti and meatballs. It is the most frustrating thing I've ever watched.
You guys are throwing BP out there?
It is absurd.
Isn't that a big part of baseball?
Big part of baseball. So, yeah, maybe we'll be worried in a little bit of a later date.
You guys are in last place right now.
I've been told end of April is where I should really start getting pissed. Right now, I'm just temporary.
All right, we'll hold that conversation about the Roman Empire, even though we love Roman Anthony.
Dog.
And we hope he gets maybe sent to a team that's 500 or better. Maybe he goes to one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Home opener tomorrow, big deal. Paul Skenes will be joining us in 14 minutes. They're currently 3-3. Baseball, though, very difficult to kind of figure out what's going on this early, and especially whenever it comes to gambling.
Yeah, yes, gambling, like when you're gambling with these and you're looking at the starting pitchers, you have to look at spring training stats and what they did in spring training, and then you have to decide, does spring training matter? Were they even trying in spring training? And then now we're getting into the second starts for these guys that started their openers, so you can look at the stats on how they pitched in their first game. That's hard. I mean, some of the best players in baseball right now are 0 for like 19. Some of the best bats are just really, really struggling right now. Early in the season, it is hard. We've talked about this during the WBC. Like Harper came on and said, yes, I wish this was June and July when I'm actually seeing things and we're back into the groove of things. So it's just really, really hard to.
Yeah, okay. Well, we won't be betting on baseball or darts. I'll tell you that. What we will bet on is we think that. I don't care that there's one in Manchester today.
It's not just one. It's 9, okay? This is the most
kicks off
important.
the second half of the season.
Yeah, this is basically November football. So let's make sure we're kind of locked in on Manchester. Huge one for Johnny Clayton, by the way. Go, Johnny. Go, go, go. Has to go back to the winner's circle.
I have decided with the mirror that I will not put another dollar on the way these guys operate.
Until today.
Nope.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, we kick off, and we're going to need you on Littler. We're going to need you on Go, Johnny.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's thinking the same way I am. These dart players, just by looking at them, I can tell, not reliable, okay? Those guys are going to have up days and down days.
That is bollocks.
Huh?
That is bollocks, my friend, okay?
Tell me what happened in night fucking 8. Johnny Clayton, Johnny Rock, guy with got comes out and just gets absolutely stomped clear. They're up and down. They're hit or miss. Luke Littler even can't find a triple 20, can't find a 180. You would think with the glitz and the glamour that they have there, some of them would just choose to lock in. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to lock in, actually. I'm going to try to eat healthy. I'm going to do exercises for my eyes. I'm going to maybe work out a little bit so that I can remain a consistent throw. Try to master this thing. But then all of them say, this is what got us to the darts dance, so not going to change anything. And I guess I can respect that. But none of them are in shape.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to depend on them because I know they're not even really dependent on themselves. Those guys have never got up to an alarm clock before in their life. Very obvious.
They get up at the dark clock.
That alarm clock goes off. They're like, who set that? That is not theirs. You know what I mean?
No, I see. I just
Let's move along. Let's go to a guy that has an alarm for everything.
Littler has an alarm. And it rings when he's down 5-0 and he comes back to win 6.
Okay.
And you can see Littler with his shirt off, too. He's a Greek god.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if that is the case, I will only bet on him.
It's like golf. When you have a big gut, okay? We're all thinking of one guy, all right? And when you lose a bunch of weight and you lose your golf swing because you know exactly where your arms are supposed to go because you got a big gut and then you lose it, you can't have that.
They're not resting their elbows on their guts like some fifth-grade teacher with a book.
They know exactly
Let's
how
move
much
on.
juice
I'm done with
need.
it. We're done with it.
I'm bulletproof!
Maybe I'm back in. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who has 11 straight, I forget the number, maybe 11 straight, I guess the guy that's joining us doesn't have this, but news about a guy who has 11 straight fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL, I believe is the number. I forget what the actual number, maybe 5, 6, whatever it is. Fully guaranteed contracts is the only thing that this guy really has done since the first time he got franchise tagged. Kirk Cousins is now a quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Kirk Cousins signed a deal where he'll be getting $8.7 million from the Falcons next year, $1.3 million from the Las Vegas Raiders, and then he'll have a $10 million signing bonus in the 2027 year that activates on the third day. So it's basically a 1 year, $20 million in total money going to Kirk Cousins, $1.3 million this season against the salary cap roster for the Raiders for him, and then the Falcons are still on the hook, and then the $10 million in the future so you can pay me vet min now and I don't have to be on the roster next year. Just brilliant stuff. The man who broke the news, the man who's going to tell us a little bit more about this and why this is perfect for Fernando Mendoza. Kirk Cousins, Curt Cignetti, I'm not saying they're the same people, but we can kind of have a similar conversation there. And Fernando and Kirk Cousins feels like that could be a very good tag team for the Raiders, who have spent a lot of money on this particular offseason to make their team better. Joining us now, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty!
Shefty, do you have anything to say about darts, or would you like to get directly into Kirk Cousins becoming a Raider? And how long do we know this was going to be happening for?
Well, it had been talked about that he could wind up there, and him and Clint Kubiak worked together for 3 years in Minnesota. They were together there, and obviously the Raiders prioritized it because they're paying the guy a $10 million roster bonus that's guaranteed on the third day of the league year in 2027. They're going to pay him another $1.3 million this year, the veteran minimum, and the Falcons are paying $8.7. So it gets him up to $20 million this year. So when you're being paid $20 million, that tells you the team wants you. And the Raiders did want him, and I think he's got a realistic chance to be the opening day starter. That's what the Raiders were looking for. They're looking for somebody to take the pressure off Fernando Mendoza, that they don't have to rush him along, that they can take their time, whether he's ready in week 1, 4, 16, whenever. They've got Kirk Cousins to man the fort until Mendoza's ready, and by getting this deal done, again, Kirk knows the system that Clint Kubiak has. Clint knows Kirk very well. Two men join forces, and he's the favorite to start on opening day now.
Yeah, mentality is all seemingly aligned with this group. Coach Kubiak, obviously fresh out of a Super Bowl championship with Sam Darnold. No stranger to veteran quarterbacks kind of having a second chance at life, especially with Kirk there in Minnesota. Here's him talking about successful rookie quarterbacks in his eyes from the league meetings.
Yeah, well, I think in a perfect world that he's watching a mature adult, go and run an offense and run the team. But the situation is you might have that player, you might not. You might not have that veteran to show him the way. So he might come in and have to play immediately. But you'd rather him learn before he gets in the game. You don't always get to pick. It just doesn't work out the exact way you want it to. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're bringing in an individual, drafting a guy that is mature enough to handle some adversity, whether it's him starting the first game or him starting the first game year 2.
All right, so obviously that's head coach, GM, Spytech obviously in on this as well. I assume they knew at that point when he was speaking that was probably going to happen. Ownership obviously has to be involved. Has Tom Brady been involved in any of these decisions that have been taking place in a way the roster is being reshaped this particular offseason? Because Tom Brady obviously behind Drew Bledsoe, and you go Aaron Rodgers behind Brett. You can go through the history. Patrick Mahomes behind Alex Smith. You can go through the history of football. Now, Peyton Manning was started rookie year, thrown right into the fire. You kind of do your thing. So there's certainly been success stories through that particular way. But watching an older guy play football is certainly something Tom Brady watched with Drew and probably used it as a source of information that you can never get as a college player, and something that he probably thinks a lot of guys that played immediately didn't get a chance to experience. You think Tom's a part of this shit as well? How much do you think he has kind of been a part of shaping what the Raiders have been doing going forward?
I think I'll look at it in the reverse way. I'm not going to tell you how much he's been a part of it, because I don't know the exact answer, but I can tell you this. None of this surprises Tom Brady. Absolutely none of it. Like, he is in on all of it. So how much he contributes to the decision, I can't say that. I don't know. But I guarantee you that he didn't see the tweet today that the Raiders were signing Kirk Cousins and go, wow, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Wow, that surprised me. So he's in on all these things. And Tom's a competitor. He wants that team to win very badly, and he offers his input, however much that matters and factors into the decisions that they make.
I would assume that his input should matter. I mean, but if you look at some of the moves they made, we need a good defense. You need to get this guy a center. Okay, let's get him some quarterback he can kind of lean on. It feels like Tom would be a good person to ask questions about having a rookie quarterback become a successful quarterback. You would assume. Now, granted, he was picked, 199 or something like that. And then Fernando's going to be number 1 overall. But, man, if Fernando has his long-term success out there and they're able to build a winner and it's directly after Tom Brady becomes an owner there, shit, he's going to flex that.
Yeah.
He's going to flex that hard. And then people are going to tell him, you got your ass kicked by flag football players, though. Let's never forget that. Let's never forget that. So there's always going to be a humbling factor that's going to go in there. Congrats to the Raiders. We feel like this is a good move. Can we ask you about a couple other NFL things happening around the world?
You what?
Okay, Brazil. Let's go. This is back-to-back years now we're in Brazil. Is this just going to become an annual thing? Ravens take on the Cowboys. Week 3, we're being told. We don't know which day of the week it'll be on. Maybe Schefter knows a little bit more information. Brazil getting into rotation. Germany's in the rotation. England's in the rotation. We believe Ireland's going to get back into the rotation. Australia now has a game. It feels like coming out of league meetings, a lot of people that are talking is like, hey, international and flag is a big deal. International and flag is a big deal. Brazil's just the newest one for that, Shefty, and what else should we be expecting?
Well, it can't be on Friday night due to the 1961 Sports Broadcasting Act that we've already covered on the show in depth the last time that we were on, right? So I don't know exactly when they're going to play that, and I don't know if you set it up such that both these teams have a bye the next week. Usually we start byes in week 4 or so. I don't know how that's going to work with Brasilia. I don't know the timing. You're right about the emphasis on international and flag football. Like, the emphasis that the league has put on flag football is huge. That is a big deal to the NFL. You're going to keep hearing more and more about flag football, and you're going to hear about these international matchups that are going to be everywhere this year. I mean, and it's just going to continue to grow. And as we get towards the next CBA, despite the fact that the NFLPA is protesting about the 18 games, I think none of us are going to be surprised if and when the league gets to that, and then if and when there's an international package, and if and when every team then is playing one international game per year. Like, again, is this something the players want? No. Is this something the players are going to be paid to do over time? I would put my money on that, yes.
What about the second bye week conversation? I wonder how that's going to go. I guess it's happened before, and it was not good. Fans of teams don't like that there's 2 off weeks throughout an entire season. And that's an interesting thing because I think the players will say, well, if you want us to survive, you're going to have to give us... We're going to have to get some sort of break. Maybe it just becomes the new norm, but if there's a second bye week and an added game, obviously you do the math, that's 2 more weeks of primetime stuff. The money could go absurd, which also goes back to the Kirk Cousins point. The salary cap lifted $20 million this year. Remember? It was way over what projections were. I wonder what it's going to be next year. The $10 million that the Raiders are putting into next year, they're like $10 million. We can get rid of $10 million. Broncos got rid of 80.
Yeah.
Dolphins are about to get rid of 100. $10 million that we just packaged next year. We can kind of get rid of that. Who knows what the salary cap's going to go up and to the right for?
Rookie QB contract, too. Like, they'll have Mendoza for these next 5 years with the option, so it gives you that flexibility.
That was a genius deal by them. I really like that they were able to tell Kirk he's going to get $20 million, but really we're only paying you $1.3 million league min. That's a brilliant deal. But on that note, with the international games and everything else that's happening, whatever days of the week, we had games on Friday last year, did we?
Yeah, so I guess to Schefter's kind of point about it, the whole entire act, last year and the year before, I believe was before the start of the high school football season. And that's why
Labor Day. Yeah. I forgot about the Labor Day thing. Okay, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
I was going to call up the Sports Broadcasting Act to read you the rules. I just want to make sure that we're always adhering to the rules, Pat. How much you like to adhere to the rules.
Hey, man. Hey, listen. If you want to guide us in the right way, at any time, go ahead and feel free to do it such. Now, if I don't think it is important enough to care about, I will certainly let you know. Yep. Some broadcasting act feels like in this particular profession, we should try to pay a little bit of respect to. Sure. Thank you, 1961 Broadcasting Act.
Good job.
Hell yeah, we appreciate that. Okay, so let's talk about some turmoil, shall we? A little bit of why is this always happening from Ty to you, Chef?
Yeah, Shefty, we've talked about this a bunch really over the last several years. It seems like right around this time or right around the season starting, everyone's got an issue with Jalen Hurts, whether it's, the team thinks he's the problem anonymous sources are coming right after the league meetings, basically putting all the blame on him. There's still the A.J. Brown stuff going around. Like, what do you read into all this stuff, not only with Jalen Hurts, what you're hearing about A.J. Brown, and also, why is this just constantly what's coming out of the locker room in Philadelphia?
I mean, look, the year ended in disappointment, so people are going to be digging in, and that's a very intense media market, so people want answers. And Jalen Hurts' body language was not always great last year, so I guess people are looking for more explanations. Look, again, I look at it like this. The guy's done a lot of things right. Like, he did win a Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, right? Where he could have won MVP of that particular. Did he win MVP? No, he didn't win MVP of that game.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay, he was Super Bowl MVP. Okay, excuse me, I stand corrected.
Well,
He was the Super Bowl MVP 2 years ago. Leads him to the victory. Could have won another Super Bowl. Played well enough. Has been doing this at a time where if we look at his offensive coordinators, he'll have Sean Mannion this year. He had Kevin Petullo last year, Kellen Moore in 24, Brian Johnson 23, Shane Steichen 22, Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni 21, Doug Peterson in 20. Different offensive coordinator every year. Different offense. Like, I know he's not the quarterback that everybody wants, but how about the fact that he's done a lot of things that no other quarterbacks have done with a number of offensive coordinators? Could it be different? Could it be perfect? Are there questions this year about what it might be like if Sean Mannion wants him to line up under center, which he hasn't done great at, which he's resisted to do in the past? Yeah, okay, there's a lot of questions, but we're still, I think, taking apart a guy that's had a lot of success in this league. I don't quite get it.
It happens a lot, though. It feels like it's always happening. People, what we were saying yesterday is it seems like people are way too comfortable talking bad about the franchise quarterback. Now, you can read that a couple different ways. Are they way too comfortable because they know everybody else feels the same way they feel? So they're like, hell, I'll be the one that anonymously says it, I guess, which I hate, even though you make a living off it. I understand that. I don't really love anonymous sources killing somebody in the same building that they're working for, especially whenever that one guy and what he does on the field helps everybody else's resume out a lot and everything. So I don't love the anonymous source. This guy's the worst, even though
we're not using I'm not using anonymous sources to attack and malign somebody's character, Pat.
True, yeah, you're breaking news, you're saying. Yes. I got it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so there is a separation. So you probably heard me say this yesterday or somebody say this before where it's like, hey, anonymous sources in sports are crazy. I get like anonymous sources in politics and shit because people could die, okay? And like think the worlds can happen. But in like sports, nobody's going to be dying from anonymous sources. I don't think. I mean, I would assume not. So whenever like it's an anonymous source in a building killing somebody, that's what you're saying. Like, hey, let's make sure we separate the two from news.
I don't love that. That makes me uneasy when we're using anonymous sources to talk about somebody's character, or if they want to go on the record and say, I think this guy's a jerk, hey, we'll quote you, no problem. But it's hard in my mind.
Yes.
I don't think it's really fair to have anonymous sources questioning somebody's character. Now, if there are a lot of people and you want to write a news story saying there are multiple people that believe this guy's a jerk, he's rubbed people the wrong way, and give a specific example, okay, I mean, there are examples and ways in which you can do it, but to quote somebody like this guy's a jerk, I don't know. I don't love it.
Like, there's been places, and once again, my name's on the show, so I can only speak from my perspective of things, which people get really mad about, but it's like legit. There's articles written about me where they get an anonymous source, and I'm like, I know who you just went to get that. So, like, you did that on purpose. Like, this is a clear, I know who said that. So you might as well just write who said that in the entire thing. I think that's what really amplified it. It's like, okay, so you're just going to say, you can't say who I am, but then just make up a bunch of stuff out of context that isn't true. It's like, that's disgusting, I think. I don't think that is how it's supposed to be. But on that note, we've amplified it. We all have. And it's because it's huge news. It's a Super Bowl MVP.
And like you said, and it happens every single year. This is the 10th time we've heard this type of stuff about Jalen Hurts.
Hopefully they get figured out over there. Okay, last question as we have Cy Young legend on deck. Oh, good baseball reference. Let's go down to the Dallas Cowboys. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Shefty. Jerry Jones talked a lot of at the owners' meetings, but one of those things was George Pickens and his contract. What's the latest situation with the Cowboys star wide receiver? And do you think there will be a contract extension? And if not, will George show up to training camp? I know that's a long way away.
I'm skeptical that there'll be an extension. It's early. It's April 2nd. But George Pickens is not allowed to be in that building unless he signs the franchise tender. He's not going to sign that franchise tender without there being a long-term deal. I don't see a long-term deal coming into focus until right before the deadline, which would be the middle of July, which tells you that there's a real probability that George Pickens will not be there for the offseason program. Now, if the two sides can figure out a long-term deal that I think is going to be very difficult, then that's great and good for both sides. They both get what they want. But if they can't, and I think it's more likely than not that they won't, now there's the possibility that we won't see George Pickens, who knows when, in the summer. He could come in a week late, 2 weeks late, right before the start of the season. He's under no obligation. He won't be fined for missing camp because he hasn't signed anything if they don't get a long-term deal done and he hasn't signed that franchise tender. And so I just think it's set up right now to be a very tricky, challenging situation for both sides. What would be a fair long-term contract for George Pickens? I think the two sides would have differing ideas. He's not going to be there in the offseason program. He's not signing the franchise tender. CeeDee Lamb's 34, average a year. Other wide receivers are getting more. What's the number? Like, it's a tricky deal to do.
Yeah, but Jerry said he's got long-term plans for Mr. Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
He's got long-term plans.
Yep.
He does.
That's fine. Let me know when the deal.
Maybe he gets a little bit of that natural gas down there, a little honey hole.
Yeah.
You know, maybe George Pickens gets a tiny shovel to potentially go dig down into the honey hole that he has found at natural gases that's right below his feet right now as we speak.
Glory hole. Glory hole, Pat.
Yeah, you'd like that.
So the glory hole, I believe, is oil, okay? I believe the glory hole is oil. I'm not 100% sure. Natural gas, I believe there is
It's a bit of a honey
hole, honey pot. We're talking two different natural resources here that you can make billions and billions off of. Not everybody loves that.
Yeah, no.
Not everybody loves that. And I'll tell you, I think it's a pretty big talking point right now.
Yeah, certainly.
I think it is. It sounds like we got a lot on this land, from what I've been understanding. Cody Campbell down there in Texas Tech, he's got a lot of shovels, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I text him asking where I need to start fucking digging, he never gives me an answer. But maybe one day.
Sounds like
I
everyone.
appreciate you, Shefty. You know what you've
Hey,
done?
before we go,
You've
new
start-
uniform Falcons, Pat. You didn't ask me about the Falcons uniform. Clean new look for Atlanta. Very sharp, very cool looking. We got, see, here it is.
Andre
3000.
3000. Hold on,
Yeah.
brother. Here, hold on. Can we go back? Can we please turn that up? Did he write it, or is he reading voice over you think? Turn it up.
I once had a dream
Yes.
where I was a falcon. My eyes were new, fresh, vision like nothing before. I could see in what felt like 4 dimensions, and time was one of them explored. I could now see everything.
Sick.
Unbounded from the ground, I was let loose. The higher I soared, the more free I became. The sky was all mine, and I was the same. I am the fastest animal on the planet. To naked eyes, a blur. Swipes of red, white, silver, and black would occur without alert. Prey would have no time to pray. In this dream, my body was a falcon, but my mind was still mine. I could recognize my city and nest from miles away in detail, without trying. All dreams feel real, of course, but this one was different still. A bouncing word I heard upon waking even now gives me chills. Atlanta, 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 until no sound. I could still see everything as it is and was, but now I'm flying on the ground. A new red rush.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Andre 3000.
Really? What group was he in?
Was he the Black Eyed Peas?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
So
Just say it with me. Push that force. Everybody move to the back of the bus. Do you want to run with us?
Excuse me?
We the type of... Yeah, I don't want to say it, Schefter. Outcast is the answer there. Him and Big
Outcast.
Boy. Yeah.
Outcast.
Yeah, they were in high school, just like Lil Wayne at the time. They were in high school dropping bangers. Rosa Parks, you can go all the way back through. Quemini, I believe. They were one of the first. DMX, Rough Riders Anthem. Bang, dang, 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 dang. That's the first thing I saw. That got me into rap, and then Outkast was the next. Real quick, what's that? You have breaking news?
And Pat, and also, congratulations are in order to Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld for having.
That's right. Us clapping cut you out. You
Yep.
definitely gave important piece of information out there at the end. What'd you say? Do we know any more info, or we just want to send our love and health and everything to the lovely superstar?
That baby girl. That's all we know right now. Good for them. Congratulations.
Josh, girl dad's awesome. You're going to enjoy the hell out of it. Congrats to both of them. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Schefter.
Hey, Schefter!
Black Eyed Peas, Andre 3000. Yikes.
There.
Come on.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, who we made wait way too long, is a man who's fresh off his first dub of the MLB season. Cy Young winner, a man who at one point was here in Indianapolis pitching for the Indians, selling out the entire downtown area. Then he made his move over to Pittsburgh, became an instant legend. This LSU national champion's a stallion, a stud, the future of baseball, and he's on the bump for the Pirates. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Skenes.
Yeah, Skino!
How you doing, Skenes?
How's it going, fellas?
Hey, great hat, honestly. I love what you're doing there. I don't know.
It's that Steely McBeam.
Yeah, I know. The Steelers got a mascot, and that was what they came up with. And at the beginning, it was kind of mocked and ridiculed, but now it's kind of just become a thing. I love that you love Pittsburgh as much as you do, Paul. Can we talk about that a little bit? Pirates, notoriously ass. We've been spending money, though, now. And I think you are one of the main drivers of it all because of your talent and the optimism from the entire city behind it. How do you feel this year about the team? I saw you guys watch that social media video where it's Pittsburgh people talking about the Pirates winning, and it does feel as if you guys want to win for Pittsburgh. How is that to start the season here, and how do you feel at this exact moment, 6 games in?
Yeah, it's been great. Had a lost the series in New York and then came back and won the series in Cincinnati, and coming back home at a 500 record and fired up to have the home opener tomorrow. It's going to be a fun year.
Okay, let's talk about that New York. We don't want to go backwards, okay? Spaceships don't come equipped with rearview mirrors. They dip. Shout out, by the way, to Andre 3000, who is not a part of the Black Eyed Peas. You knew that. I know that you knew that. Schefter just embarrassed himself. But we don't need to go in the back. That New York game, okay? That New York game. You just got to eliminate that immediately. Like, how do you go about processing that type of shit? That had to be the first time, long time that you've ever experienced something.
Maybe ever.
Maybe your whole life. Like, how do you process that and move on and then come out with your best shit the next game like you did?
Yeah, just got to see it for what it is. It's never as bad as it seems. It's never as good as it seems. So just watching the game, understanding what went wrong, what went well, and that's every game. You treat it the same as every game. It's just a lot shorter that you can, a lot fewer pitches that you can look through after a game like that, which makes it a little bit easier. So it's nothing crazy. Just got to get back into the routine and, remember what makes you good.
I think you didn't have that many pitches yesterday either. Feels like we're on pace maybe to pick up a couple games. Like maybe all the way into October. All the way into October. And there's a new tradition. There's a new tradition that has certainly captivated the stars. It has certainly captivated the universe, and it has certainly taken over Tone Diggs' life, who's obviously you're a massive fan of the Pirates. We're hoisting things now, bud.
Yeah, we are, Skenes, and it's a phenomenon. It's taking over the entire internet. Actually, I wanted to throw to the video so that people, if they don't know that, can understand what hoisting the cone means.
Billy, what made you the official cone bearer over here in the dugout?
Well, Jake made sure that it was in the dugout, and if we're going to have a cone in here, someone's got to lift it up. It's not going to hoist itself. So just kept it next to me in the dugout, and anytime something good happened, hoisted it up, and a lot of good stuff happened with it. So got raised a lot yesterday. And again, it goes with the welder's mask or welder's helmet, whatever you want to call it. So they work well together, and we're looking forward to a lot more airtime for this thing.
Yeah, shout out Sportsnet Pittsburgh, and Hannah Mears was doing the interview there, and then Billy Cook was the one talking, and Jake Mangum was the one who brought the cone into the locker room. How did this come? Are you ever going to hoist the cone, or is it strictly Billy Cook's job? What's the life of the cone like in the dugout right now?
Yeah, well, the cone, the life of the cone, it's been getting used a lot recently, so got to keep that going. I don't know. There are probably going to be a number of people that hoist the cone this year. Cruiser did it a few times. Ward is, he looked like he was at Hogwarts there.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't know the story on the cone, to be honest. I do know there was a shirt that came out in the off season that said "Hoist the Cone," and nobody knew what it meant. So we got a traffic cone before the Tuesday game in Cincinnati, and yeah, what the heck does "Hoist the Cone" mean? We have a meaning for it now. There's probably a players parking spot in Cincinnati that was missing a cone after Mangan brought it in. He probably just stole it from a parking lot somewhere, but we got it, and it's made its way back to Pittsburgh.
And things have been happening.
Yeah.
And we all wonder what Fanatics was thinking at the time. We said, wow, just another blatant error by Fanatics when it comes to merch. What Fanatics was saying was, just wait.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a pre-sale right now.
Yep.
What you're getting at is about what you're to look at. You said, Matt, who brought in the cone? Who was the one that decided that the shirt needed to come to the dugout? And the dugout now is at a point where we're only winning games. I see you not really giving it much attention there. Maybe you need to start focusing on the cone a little bit more as it walks by you. Show your respect. But you are saying it did start from the T-shirt. That was completely wrong. That was telling the future. And now it has captivated the boys a little bit. I feel like that's what I saw with the WBC. Every dugout routine becomes like a part of the team, whether it's a hand signal whenever somebody gets on base to it all. We think the cone's going to survive? The cone's going to survive the year, or are we one rut away from cone getting dropped back off in a parking lot? I don't know baseball culture well enough. How long is this thing going to last? Forever?
I really hope so. The dugout stuff, in my experience, it happens organically. It's not something you force. So the cone's here. I think it's here to stay. We'll see. Hopefully it lasts all the way into October, deep way into the season.
All right, why don't you have cleats on the ground in there for us, keep us updated on how that cone's going to do. But I think when you're hoisting it as high as you guys are, we're going to be seeing that thing. And the welder's mask right next to it.
Sweet.
I mean, we're talking grit. We're talking blue collar. We're talking why not get a win. We're talking youngest player in long time, maybe ever, to be playing baseball at that level. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Paul, this is nothing new for the Pirates. It's kind of what they do. Not great, get a really good guy, draft him, he plays young, and then, 5-6 years down the road, he ends up getting traded to the Yankees or, something like that.
That's not happening with Paul. We're in a new Buccos right now.
I agree, which is why I was going to say Connor Griffin is getting called up. He's making his debut on Friday. You guys, obviously cut from similar cloth in terms of being like, hey, can't miss prospect. This guy is going to be unbelievable. How much of him have you seen? We've seen his stats throughout, his entire minor league ramp up to this point. It's just ridiculous if you extrapolate it over a full MLB season. How much of him have you seen, and how excited are you to watch him make his debut on Friday?
Yeah, I'm fired up. If Bucco fans needed anything else to get excited about for the home opener, that they got it. So it's great. He's super mature. He's 19 right now. You would never know it talking to him. The most mature 19-year-old you're ever going to meet in your life, and the play speaks for itself. But the way he conducts himself in the locker room and off the field, it's cool to see. So he's going to bring an energy and obviously a skill set to Pittsburgh that, that's exciting.
From Mississippi too, right? WBC.
From Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Mangum actually went to the same high school, I believe.
Oh, so he's got some cone ties.
Nice.
Okay, I'm pretty excited. He's going to be up there pretty comfortable. What is life for a 19-year-old going to be like in MLB? You guys are traveling a lot, obviously, right? And then you got a lot of life. Like, he's just built for it because he's played baseball his whole life. Like, how do you kind of get used to being a rock star? And by rock star, I mean, yeah, very popular, very famous, but also on road a lot. Like, that's something that we just assume he's good at? Is that something that we just assumed you were good at too?
It's tough. It's I'm sure you guys know the life, just being on the road and traveling to different places and, competing, going to unfamiliar places and staying in weird hotels and new stadiums and that kind of thing. It's something like it's going to be an adjustment for him. He's done it in the minor leagues, and it's probably harder in the minor leagues, taking bus trips rather than flying, and you have better hotels in the big leagues. But he's going to be fine. It's just some adjustments that you have to make. You'll learn, sleeping, eating, just little stuff like that people probably don't think about, that, you learn a lot about pretty quickly once you get called up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do what you got. I don't think I'd be able to just the discipline, food discipline on road. Very tired. Obviously, team is supplying a lot, but just that one aspect of your life, whenever you don't really know what the right move is or have something that you can just definitely go and get. Pillows. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Hotel pillows, especially for your big ass head. Look at that lug head this guy's got. Melon. I couldn't even imagine. You putting towels underneath the pillows?
I travel with pillows.
Smart.
Paul Skenes.
There it is.
That's probably a baseball thing, I assume, huh? A lot of baseball guys travel in pillows?
I think a lot of guys do it, yeah.
That's a good move, yeah. Because our biggest complaint is always these pillows.
Beds are fine.
These pillows, the beds, whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to be laying on something. Pillow's always bad. I like that baseball's got a traveling pillow brigade. I like
move.
You guys just walking in with those things flopping out of you. I like everything about that. Shout out to you, by the way. Love what you've done since the beginning of your career with the Gary Sinise Foundation. Obviously, we have matched alongside of you this year. We're shooting for $150,000. Can you tell a little bit more about this and why you've remained committed to giving back to great United States Americans?
Yeah, it's the Gary Sinise Foundation. This is my third year with them. They do great work. Veterans and first responders, just supporting them in any way they can. I've got, they've let me ride in a fire truck now, which is pretty cool. And I got to honk the horn and all that, which is
pretty cool.
They do a week at Disney World every year for veterans and first responders, 1 week each. So 1 week for veterans, 1 week for first responders, and it's their families. It's pretty heavy. I went down there for a couple days in the off season, and it's a lot of women and children, if you know what I mean. There's not very many not very many men there that are, and a lot of single moms, single dads. It's pretty heavy, just with fallen veterans, fallen first responders, and they just do a week of healing for them at Disney World, among other things. But they just do a lot of good work, and it's an honor to partner with them again.
Yeah, being a tag team partner for Gold Star Families is certainly a beautiful thing. Happy to hear that the Gary Sinise Foundation is continuing to help out the families of those who serve our great country, both here locally and abroad. Shout out to everybody. We've matched with you last year. You're going per strikeout, right? Are we doing that again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are we doing? Remind me what we're doing. We've matched first 2 years, but remind me what we're doing. Whenever you get ponche, when you get a ponche, okay, what are we doing? We're donating per strikeout how much?
$100.
How about you and me this year? We go 500.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right, check.
Yeah, click on it.
Yeah. His hand's so big.
Yeah. Massive.
You never want to do that in real life because that's so big.
Yeah. Touch your elbow.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of, all right, on that note, last question for you here comes from Connor.
Yeah, Skino, your 2 starts into the ABS era in the MLB. It feels as though it has been a huge success. Do you have a conversation with your catcher about it? We saw the splits. Catchers are the most successful when it comes to challenges. Pitchers, okay. Batters, okay. How has that been so far, would you say? And do you think it is something that is going to, in general, help the game a lot?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to help the game. I think in my 2 starts, I don't think I've had anyone challenge. I'm never going to challenge. Because, as a pitcher, you think everything's a strike. You get emotional and when you get emotional, that doesn't help you. So, I'll let my catchers challenge for me. I don't think there have been any hitters that have challenged against me, but it's great. It's being accurate. It's is it a strike or is it a ball? And now there's an answer for that, and so it's cool. It's been fun to watch. It's definitely affected the games.
You're a previous catcher, we all know. And we asked you this question like the last time you were on the show, or maybe 2 times ago when you were on the show. And you said, I hope ABS never gets to the majors. That's what you said. And you talked about the respect you had for umpires and the respect for catchers and framing and how, like, that's a part of baseball is the little thing. It felt inevitable that this was going to come. Have you changed your stance? Are you okay with it now, especially with what you've seen happen? Because there's been some magical moments of catchers just dunking on umpires right in front of their face and, hey! And then another ball. I don't think so, brother. Hike 3 straight. And now we're talking about some of these umps are getting called out for everything. I mean, not even looking at the bases. It feels like potentially much better for the sport because it does add an extra element of electricity, but also potentially exposing not great officiating at the same time. I know all those things are potentially why you weren't for it a couple years back. What are your thoughts now, knowing that it is just a reality of baseball for the rest of your career, which is going to go for a long time?
Yeah, when we talked when I was in Indy, the experience that I had, I was a lot closer to college back then and high school back then than I was to the big leagues, just because I had never experienced the big leagues. And so, selfishly at the time, it was like, well, there are a lot more balls that get called strikes than strikes that get called balls. And so now, I want to say last year I had more pitches in the zone get called balls against me than pitches that were balls that got called strikes. So now I'm all for it. Switch my stance on it. I'm all for it. It's great.
I'll tell you what, the data has certainly opened my eyes. That maybe I am a little bit better than those umpires. Maybe the umps aren't better than me at this entire thing. That is, it's provided incredible excitement. I mean, it won a game last night. It won a game last night for Baltimore.
Yeah,
it was a walk-off ABS. Catcher says, I don't think so, Jack. That was where we were aiming, fella, is what he says to the ump. The ump goes, we're going to take a look at this thing. Let's go ahead. All 20,000 of us, let's look at this in real time. Was I right? I wasn't. Damn it. Game over. Strike 3. Like, it is an added element of excitement. Can't take too long either. I like how efficient it is.
Yeah.
Because if it took too long, then people complain about baseball games being long. I think it's great. And if it's going to continue to make you a better pitcher, brother, let's run that up. We appreciate you for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Always good to talk.
All right, we're going to come see you on the road somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll come see you on the road somewhere.
I'm going to see him in Chicago next week.
Oh, yeah, against Cubbies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you going to – you ever think about doing that maybe with the pitch clock? Start real early so guy has to lock in. Hold that thing. 10 seconds. Balance point. Is that what this is called? Bang. Hit the balance point. Hold it, and then he doesn't know when you're coming. And then once he looks like he's lost interest, boom, now we're doing it. Like they do it in penalty kicks and like breakaways. Have you thought about this, and is it allowed?
It is allowed. I don't think anybody's done it for 10 seconds. But that seems like a really long time.
See?
I'll think about it. I can't guarantee that I'm going to do it, but I'll give it some thought.
Well, don't just drop it in a game. Obviously, work on the offseason. Come in next. Nobody's done 10 seconds, you said, which makes me, Art of War, Shinzu, rest in peace. Nobody's ever done it before. You just sit there. Imagine the reaction from the crowd, too. Oh, when's he going to go? When's he going to go? And then, whammy! Something to think about, just trying to get better. That's all we're trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. Cy Young winner, Gary Sinise Foundation donor, and a man who's going to save the Pittsburgh Pirates and the city of Pittsburgh, Paul Skenes. Thank you, buddy.
Skenes.
I don't think he's going to do it.
He might.
I don't think he's going to do it. Let's pivot from MLB and obviously giving back to great Americans, and let's talk about the NBA on its incredible run. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, 13-year NBA vet, a member of the Knuckleheads podcast, friend of the program, Quentin Richardson.
Thank you, Rich.
Hey, Rich, what do you think? You think Paul should maybe try that?
I've never seen that, but you might be on to something. I don't know.
See, I didn't know if it's legal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine if you're a knuckleballer and you do that. So your body's knuckling while you kind of go in there. Let's talk basketball.
Is that legal?
Is that illegal?
Is that illegal?
Luka, immediately, let's talk Lakers. Everybody's going to love this. Me, national doofus, doesn't pay attention to the NBA, especially because the Pacers go from Game 7 of the finals to the lottery. Is Tyrese Halliburton the most valuable player this year? Something to think about. Now let's go to the Los Angeles Lakers. Luka, he's lost 38 pounds, I'm being told, and he is playing his best basketball. Is he going to be able to lead the Lakers to a title? Like, what's the reality of that particular situation? I know Wemby and SGA are certainly battling for the MVP, and OKC and San Antonio are outrageous. I understand that. But is the LA hype real at this point? And is it only real because we're talking about how terrible of a trade it was for the Mavericks? Like, how should we actually judge this Lakers team? Should it be in comparison to what the Mavericks became after trading them, or in reality of this year in the NBA?
No, I would. In the reality of the NBA, I would. Right at this point, everybody's kind of concluded that the Lakers won that trade. That Luka should have never been traded. This is just his first full season, as a Laker, getting the full off season, coming into training camp, knowing this is his new home. I think the Lakers absolutely have a chance to win the championship with Luka at the helm. It doesn't have to mean it's going to be this year. But I think, they got time to work. And, he's showing that he's got way more in the tank than I guess Dallas or anybody thought he did. But, this is a superstar we watching, and he's dead smack in the middle of his prime, and he's giving everybody buckets right now.
J.J. Redick becomes the second Lakers coach, I think, to win back-to-back 50-game seasons. Him and Phil
Shout out J.J.
Yeah.
Shout out J. Red. You know what I'm saying? That's my former teammate. Shout out J. Red. That's big time.
Hey, that is big time, especially because he was just a podcaster who was getting interviewed with LeBron James. That's why he got the job. Other people should have gotten the job. He is now a certified good NBA coach. Are we allowed to say that? Is that what people would describe J.J. Redick as?
What else can you call him? His record says so. The numbers are the numbers. They don't lie. I think he's doing a hell of a job considering all of the circumstances and the huge change in the middle of everything, getting Luka and acquiring him. And I think him and the whole coaching staff, they've been amazing at trying to, flip things and flop things around to get this team in position to be their best. And right now they're sitting at number 3. And like you said, this is his second back-to-back 50 win season. That's a good coach in my book.
Yeah, I would say. And I'm happy for him. Former player, former media member, having success in L.A., doing his thing. And also, he was catching a lot of heat early. And he has not changed the way he talks to anybody. So I respect and appreciate that. Good luck to the Lakers. Let's move to NBA championship conversation. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Q, speaking of great coaches, Joe Mazzulla is the all-time leader in win percentage. No big deal. It feels as though the Boston Celtics are once again back. Jason Tatum, triple-double. Jaylen Brown, 43 points. Can you just explain to me, first of all, how someone can even do that in Tatum and how impressive that is from a basketball standpoint? And then the other part of the question, how is it not automatically going to be Celtics versus Spurs in the NBA Finals?
So what Tatum is doing from a basketball player standpoint is incredible in my eyes. To be back this quick from that type of injury, and then to be back in this type of a form as quick as he's gotten to this, like being able to put up these numbers and play these minutes and look this good doing it. I expected him, when he said he was coming back, I expected him to be back and, kind of working his way back into getting to somewhat of a full strength. But he came back already far ahead of what I thought he could have been, and he's far exceeded what I thought he could be doing. The numbers, the rebounds and assists are crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? He's come in and he's getting double-double after double-double. He's seeing double teams. He's passing the ball well. And all of the talk about him and JB, they should please silence that yet again. They said it all the way up until they won the championship. Then they wanted to rekindle that situation with this, and they've shown that they play together, basically Tatum's whole career. And JB only played 1 year without him. And, last night he still went and got 43 while JT put up all of those crazy numbers. So, that shouldn't even be a conversation about whether they could play together and whose team it is. They both superstars, and they both are leaders of the team. And that's just what it is.
Double-double against a double team. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they're the trouble team. They seem to be a real problem up there. And the fact that they're able to win as much as they were without Tatum, okay, because we're watching without Tyrese here in Indiana. But actually, we're not. I haven't really seen much.
Nobody's bought
I've seen easy. I'm not letting my eyes see it.
Right.
Because my last Pacers experience was the best.
Kidding me? Game winners in the finals?
We're having so much fun.
Yeah.
Tyrese.
Game 6?
Think about the Madison Square Garden. Remember, that wasn't even a game winner. It was going to overtime. That thing shot up to the clouds. Jim Irsay caught that thing and just slid it in Madison Square Garden. Did the whole Reggie Miller thing. We had a time.
Yeah.
Now we're in the lottery. The fact that the Celtics They've been able to continue to be great without Tatum that entire time. Goes to your exact point about them not even, hey, this is just an incredible duo that is unbelievable at basketball. And Joe Mazzulla might be an actual psycho when it comes to the entire sport.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was playing war noises, I believe, during training camp to get the boys ready. That's what Luka Garza said, okay, it's different up here.
Explosions and gunfire.
Well, the coaches versus media game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it used to be just like a fun, let's have a good time. 89-0 or
beat him by 100.
89-2 or something like that. It's like they're just a different. He's so young too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's so young in the game.
Yeah.
Took over a great spot. Good for the Celtics and obviously the Spurs as well. Speaking of the Spurs, Tone has a question for you, Q Rich.
Yeah, I do, Q Rich. The Spurs and SGA and OKC, 1 and 2 seed, very, very fascinating in the West right now. I believe the Spurs are 4-1 against OKC on the season. What are your thoughts on that matchup in the West going into the playoffs, and then also the potential MVP between Wemby and SGA?
Right now, I have SGA as my MVP. I think everything that Wemby is doing is definitely unbelievable. And think about this year, I feel like you got 4 or 5 guys that could be MVP in any other year. Like Joker hasn't gotten a lot of talk, but he's still averaging a triple-double. He just became official. He's going to average a triple-double for the season, and he's leading the league in rebounds and assists. That's crazy. What Wemby is doing is crazy. What Luka is doing is crazy. If Cade doesn't get hurt, he would be in the conversation. What Jaylen Brown has been able to do has been crazy. He would be in the conversation. So it's like, it's one of those crazy years. But for me, I think what SGA has been able to do, putting together his 4th straight year, averaging over 30, joining the class with MJ, breaking Wilt's record. The last time he ain't scored 20 points was December of 2024. I think he's showing that he's a dominant force. Not that these other guys aren't, but you have to couple that with the winning aspect. He has the best team in the NBA coming off a championship, and they ain't letting off the gas. So I still think it's his MVP and it's his time right now.
You're the man, Q Rich. Thank you for taking time with us. We can't wait to continue to chat with you. And is SGA going to do it again?
Nope.
This guy never misses. But Wemby, he's everywhere. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Q Rich.
Hey, Q Rich.
Wemby was asked to give 3 bullet points on why he should be MVP. His first one was defense, right? Is half the game?
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good
He's
at that.
absurd.
He's everywhere. Hour 2 on the other side. We got Mike Greenberg, Bret Michaels. Be a friend, tell a friend, something nice might change your life.
All roads leading to Eugene, and I can't help but say, hey, 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 hey. You make me want to jump, put my hands up and pick my heels up and all again now. A little bit something now, 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 a little bit louder 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 now, a little bit louder. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great day in Oregon. You know, we got a cannon. Always! We are! Thank you! I love this. Let me go ahead and cock that thing! Boom on! Boom on! Ah! Boom! Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Roughnecks! We got engineers, we got doctors, we got economists. We got real tests that have real implications happening. And all of these sons of said, give me college game day. Instead of studying, I had some questions about coming out here to Berkeley, but after experiencing it, it is very evident that this is one of the best cities in this here United States of America. USA, USA, USA! USA! And this represents everything that is great with this country, with our sport. It doesn't matter which way you view the world. It doesn't matter which part of the country you're from. College football runs through our soul. And that is what a celebration today is all about. I am thankful to be here amongst these nerds and future geniuses and future people that are going to run this place. It's an honor to be in Berkeley. It's foggy. I think
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this, here we go, Thursday. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Sports are the greatest since April 2nd, 2026. And on this particular program, we'll have Bret Michaels in this hour.
Wow.
Also, Mike Greenberg. We're incredibly lucky that we get a
Hell
chance to do
yeah.
this for a living. Sports are the greatest thing of all time. They continue to deliver, even though football isn't happening right now. And meaningful baseball is happening every day for 162 days. Isn't happening.
Now.
The Crown basketball tournament is doing it for us.
Did it start?
Yeah.
Yeah, it matters. You only got a couple opportunities to win the Crown, and the Crown was certainly within reach for two teams that played last night.
Yeah.
Oklahoma beats Colorado. Baylor beats Minnesota. Now tonight we find out if Stanford or the West Virginia Mountaineers will go on to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. I feel like they're probably going to beat Rutgers. I think I did at one point pick all four of the teams on the left side of the bracket to win each game. So I don't think I had
So you got it right.
I don't think I had a certain pick, but at one point I knew Oklahoma was going to win and Baylor was going to win. And then on the right side, West Virginia's about to get it done, and the Blue Jays going to get it done. So that's happening tonight. Meaningful stuff. We got Final Four this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got golf that's only going to continue to get stronger. We got NFL news that's only going to continue to cook. This morning, Kirk Cousins was signed to the Las Vegas Raiders. He is a man who's going to be brought in to teach Fernando Mendoza how to be an NFL quarterback, the things to do on the field, off the field, in the meetings, in the locker rooms, whenever you're taking the boys out. Now, we think Kirk and Fernando will be a good duo, good tag team in there. We think him and Kurt Signetti have a similar, we're all kind of in the same football nerd atmosphere, it feels like. So we're pumped for them. We're pumped for the Raiders. And Kirk Cousins, once again, gets another guaranteed contract in the form of about $20 million, $8.7 million coming from the Falcons, $1.3 coming from the Raiders this year, and then a $10 million roster bonus 3 days into the 2027 season. But nobody's expecting him to actually play for that team. They'll just have to pay him that amount of money at that particular time. So the Raiders basically kick a $10 million roster spot to next year. They'll throw it in the trash because the salary cap probably only going to go up and to the right. They're paying him league min. He's going to mentor Fernando. Feels like a smart move for the Raiders if Kirk Cousins can play football good. There were some times last year where we saw him play football. He was not good. There were some times we seen him last year play football. He was good. Yeah. You take him back to the times in which he was in the Vikings offense with Kubiak as his coordinator. He was very good. So we assume he'll have success. We assume he'll be good, Kirk Cousins, and we assume this will be great for Fernando and the Raiders going forward. Now, when Kubiak coached Kirk Cousins, Hembo says good things happen. good things happen. You know what else happened? He got like $130 million guaranteed from the Falcons. He moves on from there. He's with the Raiders. Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. You gave me a side eye after I said the NFL is always delivering, especially with news. Kirk Cousins being the last thing we need to talk about.
It wasn't about the NFL. It's just you listed off a bunch of sports that are going on, and you seemingly left out one very, very particular one that everyone's pretty freaking hyped up about.
So I watched this one last night that you're talking about, I do believe.
I don't think so.
This guy's dropping straws through, it was in the middle of like an arena.
Okay.
And there was a circle that had a bunch of sensors on it. And then he had to lift the straw to different height. And he was competing against others to see who could get to the highest and drop the straw through the circle. It was intense.
Did he do it?
And I'll tell the one that I saw was the winner. He dropped it from about yay high.
Is that on ABC? I thought
it has a win too, like that old trash game on your phone.
Great
used to
game.
have. That's what you're talking about, because that would be a sport. Oh, how about the one where there's like a big tire in the middle?
Yeah.
And then there's two dudes wrestling.
I love that one.
Sure.
With Mr. Jack?
Not a tug of war. Mr. Jack did used to do that in elementary school. Shout out to Holiday Park. They tore that place down. That was a shame that they did that. That was our elementary school. No, these two guys are wrestling, and one of them's trying to get the other one into the tire.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, but I know.
Are you talking about the real American freestyle wrestling where Kale is doing interviews, guys are cutting promos, and Tristan Wirfs, NFL lineman, hops up on his stage and says, "I'll wrestle this guy, sure." And then all of a sudden, the Buccaneers people are like, "Is this are we watching WWE? What's going on here?" Because that's actually some good shit.
Oh yeah,
I like that amateur wrestlers are now potentially getting a professional platform, because there wasn't really anywhere to go. Kurt Angle, a lot of amateur wrestling people got mad at Kurt Angle for getting into professional wrestling, but it was like, what else am I? What do you want me to do? MMA, I guess, at the time was a little bit smaller. He would go on to become one of the greatest WWE people of all time. But I remember amateur wrestling people being mad at him. If they could take amateur wrestling and make it a professional league, that would be dope. Especially as somebody who's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where, we got a lot of wrestlers around us. A lot of cauliflower here. Gotta keep your head. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I know 8 guys who would be top of the table in every single one of those sports you just mentioned, especially wrestling, because of how strong their hands and forearms are.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the freaking Premier League. The premier.
Soccer's not happening.
The premierest of Premier Leagues.
Darts.
Okay.
We're not doing this.
Look at those matchups. Look at those matchups.
Go,
Look at those
Johnny,
matchups.
Go.
We basically have 4 Super Bowls kicking off at 2 o'clock. And yeah, sure, you might look at the headshots and say, there's no way that guy can jog a mile. There's no way that guy's last meal wasn't under 4,000 calories. Guess what, man? That's what darts is all about, okay? So, yeah, you can judge them by how they look. But why don't you judge them by how they throw?
I'm judging them by how they act, not by how they look.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. That's how they act. This is how they act. A lot of this, a lot of fish on! A lot of that.
We love reeling in the fish.
They do got a lot of some of them do have moxie. Okay.
Yeah,
some
180s. Fish on. Finish it on a bowl. Do you know what that's all about? Because it feels like you don't respect exactly what it is all about.
It is all about. I want these darters to deliver for the adult culture that you are describing there. But I'm worried that these darters are only thinking about darting when they're darting. We need them to start focusing on darting when they're not darting.
Jump in.
I can't be having guys pulling their triceps after 180. It looks like they're potentially going to have a heart attack with over kind of stimulation whenever some things start happening. They start, they look redder than me.
Yeah.
These guys are redder than me somehow.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to think that they have enough oxygen in their brain to go stand up, have enough balance, and deliver me a triple 20, triple 20, triple 20. I just want one of them to focus on it. I just would like one of them to say,
I think we're gonna see
I could be good at this.
You can't be a pro athlete and have gout. It just doesn't
That's what
work
I'm saying.
out.
The gout is the
There's a lot of pro
Kings?
athletes.
That's
yeah,
right.
Exactly. Oh, the Kings. So sorry, we got 8 Kings up there. Who's the last player? Who's the last NFL player? Who's the last NBA player? Who's the last MLB player to play through gout? I don't know. I don't think there ever has been one.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think, Foxy agrees with you. Shut up, Foxy.
Joining us now is a man who probably has a good opinion on this.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll watch for the entertainment. I don't know how they're playing all that music. Okay, I don't know how that's working. I do appreciate
Because
their
the artists
entrances.
respect the
Johnny
Premier
B.
League
Good
so much.
Johnny B. Good actually wrote in his will, Chuck Berry. He said, "Look, the only song this song is available for is Johnny Clayton, and not to mention, see his favorite athlete, Stephen frickin' Bunting, the Bullet."
All right, I just want these guys to just
see us.
I want these guys to focus on what they're doing, especially if I'm betting from across the pond on them.
All they are is focused, man. So they're so focused, they're sucking down McChickens and McDoubles like there's no tomorrow.
I don't know
Because
if they
they're
have
so
that.
focused.
I don't know if they have that over there. I know D-Bone does. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who might have an opinion on this. I assume he's been to an event. He's been covering sports for society, basically, for 30 years now. Zero-time Emmy Award winner,
Yikes.
host of Get Up, who celebrated 8 years today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Greenberg.
Yay, Greedy!
How you doing, Greeny?
I'm doing great. It is a pleasure to be back on, but no one is happier about it, as you know, than my wife, Stacy. I think I mentioned this to you when I ran into you in Phoenix the other day. She just said to me, like 2 weeks ago, she said to me, "How come you haven't been on McAfee Show in a while?" And I said, "I don't know. Maybe he's mad at me about something." And she gives me a look, and she goes, "What did you do?" So I'm telling you right now, no questions asked. She was on your side.
Okay, good. We like to hear that. Shout out Miss Stacy. We certainly appreciate the hell out of that. And we're never mad at you, Greeny. Never could be. Around you, there were some questions, but we just decided to stay away as opposed to dive in. We should have done more of that. We know you're very busy, and we're appreciative of your time. Getting a chance to catch up with him at the league meetings coming out of a workout. Let me tell you, Greeny in like kind of gym leisure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jack.
He's in shape right now.
Yeah.
Greeny, you're in great shape right now. And I'll say this also, I don't want to get too complimentary here this quick because we're only a couple minutes into this thing. Skin was glowing, hair was strong.
Perfect.
I mean, hair was
What a hairline.
very strong in there. Covering sports 30 years, good beard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fastball was reaching triple digits. Let's
It
just
was
say
too.
that.
I mean, we were picking things apart. Oh no, let's not do that. Reasonable takes on everything, and then also some questions. It was a great time the other day. Thank you for spending it with us. We genuinely appreciate you every time.
Well, it's always great to see you guys. It had been much too long. We caught up on a variety of things. I think I told you about the way the encounter began, which is that after I finished working out, there was this one little bathroom off to the side of the gym, and I was going to go in there just to wash my hands because I was going down to have breakfast. But it was occupied, so I'm waiting outside, and I hear from inside a toilet flush, and the door opens, and it's Connor. And so we greet each other amiably, and he says, "I'm going to go down there. Our meeting is over there." I said, "All right, I'll be there in a little while." And then I thought about it, and I said, "I'm not going in there. I'm not going to go and wash my hands in there." There seemed very little chance that I was going to emerge from that room cleaner than I was when I went in. So I went and found a different bathroom. So that was the beginning of our encounter on Tuesday.
Yeah, a little morning dump on a fun, man.
Yeah, little do you know, I smeared poop on your back, bitch. So that's on you.
There's a chance that was on your seat in the room as well. We appreciate the fact that you trusted the room more than Connor's bathroom. On that note, a wonderful image walking out of the bathroom that early in the morning being Connor, and then Connor with a quick boom right to you, and then moving. Wonderful way to start the day. Obviously, we're celebrating the NFL out there, and that's what the league meetings are as a whole, kind of what the future looks like. How do you feel about this Kirk Cousins thing with the Raiders? I think the deal, I don't know if you've seen the way the deal has been put together, genius here. This is a genius deal by the Raiders. They're paying league men, and then next year they owe a $10 million bonus, but they'll just kick that off the side. And then obviously the 8.7 coming from the Falcons on the offset language. Feels like a smart deal from the Raiders. I like it. How do you feel about it, Greeny, out there?
I feel great about it. And I just learned about that, about the particulars of the deal as I was waiting to come on when you were talking about it. And I completely agree with you that this is, when you look at the way the deal is structured, there's no losing scenario. It's a no-lose deal for the Raiders. And most importantly, I have a philosophy that far more young quarterbacks in the NFL are ruined than are developed. And the Raiders are a team that has gotten almost everything wrong, it feels like, for such a long time. And now, just in this little moment here, it feels like they've become the team that gets everything right. I loved everything that they did during this offseason, particularly signing Tyler Linderbaum. I love the way they're making aggressive moves to put something together around their young quarterback. The hiring of Clint Kubiak is an absolutely outstanding one. He's one of those guys in that line of offensive-minded coaches who are going to give you as good a chance as you can have of developing a quarterback. I liked that they were trading Max Crosby. Obviously, the way that turned out, I don't blame on them. But to continue to put more and more pieces around him. And then most significantly, I love now that they're not forcing him to be the guy, not just starting week 1, but starting like July 15th or whatever day they all show up at training camp. You don't want to have everything be on his shoulders, no matter how pro-ready he is. And I think Mendoza is as pro-ready as you can be for a rookie quarterback. I have always believed that getting a veteran in there to mentor him is an outstanding move. Cousins is a perfect one. The combination of Cousins and Tom Brady being in the organization, I don't know how much better Fernando Mendoza could have it than he has it right now.
Yeah, and on that note about Kirk Cousins, his personality feels like one that is going to gel well with Fernando, and Fernando is going to gel well with Kirk Cousins. And Fernando is not a guy who will feel like threatened by this, and I don't think Kirk will either. Kirk's been in this situation before. From the human side, let alone just on the field side of him being comfortable with the offense and being able to tell Fernando what he needs to be looking for in the offense in which the head coach is going to have for the entirety of his career. The human aspect really works too, I think, Greeny, which I think is a huge
Absolutely. Deal. Shefty made a great point about this morning when this story broke. It happened while we were on, and I hadn't thought of it this way. Kirk Cousins did not choose to go to Atlanta with Michael Penix there. Kirk Cousins went to Atlanta believing he was going to be the starting quarterback, no questions asked, and then they blindside him by taking Penix, and he winds up in a role where he's part starter, part mentor, and because he is such a consummate pro, and I think from what everyone says, such a good guy, he'd probably handle it as well as that situation can be handled. He's coming to this situation with his eyes wide open. Everyone knows this eventually becomes Fernando Mendoza's team. And Kirk Cousins, I have to believe, would have had other opportunities in other places. So he's choosing this willingly. He understands that part of his job, maybe the most important part of his job, is to help Fernando Mendoza get ready. So he's doing that of his own accord, which means, I think by definition, he's comfortable with it.
Fernando will be visiting the Raiders next Tuesday. Shefty just broke while Greeny was giving that answer. Shefty's on top of it, man. Isn't he?
Always.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Tough to have combos with in real life.
Yeah, or about music.
Oh, the combo. Yeah, he thought Andre 3000 was a part of the Black Eyed Peas, which was certainly...
Which...
Oh, no, I'm not asking...
That's closer than I would have thought Shefty would get. Andre 3000 is from Outkast, and that is infinitely closer than I would have guessed Shefty would be.
He went for it, though.
He did go for it.
He went for it, though. And we didn't expect him to go for it, but then he said, that's Andre 3000 there? I was like, all right, okay, let's go ahead and dive in a little bit. Shefty, he's a weapon, dude. He is okay, let's talk about him being a weapon and kind of just like a massive piece of the NFL's universe, okay? The newsbreakers are a massive piece of the NFL universe. Obviously, it's a job that pays very well, but it also provides a lot of conversation to grow the league as a whole. I think the NFL is great at that. I'd assume you think the same exact thing. Now, Brazil just got announced for another game. Germany's getting annual games. England's getting annual games. Australia is getting Rams-Niners. That's a huge game that is happening down there. And then coming out of league meetings, I guess a big initiative was like international. What are your thoughts on the growth of the NFL over the last 30 years? Because it does feel like they're maybe nowhere near their peak of just printing money. Seems like it's only going to keep going. Greeny, do you agree or no?
Yes, for sure. Bob Kraft said it the other day, and this is what's going to happen. Ultimately, and I don't know exactly how soon, every team will play 18 games, and every team will play one international game every season. So there won't be any advantage or disadvantage, and you just do the math, and if there are 32 teams, that means there will be 16 international games per season, and they will move them all over the place. The NFL has been printing money. They are essentially an ATM, and they are almost exclusively a domestic product. If you think about the other sports that we consider to be our sports, I mean, baseball is enormous in Japan and has grown in other places, but it is ridiculously popular in Japan. The basketball, and in part because of the Dream Team and other things, basketball is a massive international sport. It's enormous through Europe. It's enormous through Asia. It's enormous through the entire continent of Africa. Most of these sports have. Hockey has enormous following in Eastern Europe and other places like that. Pro football is basically popular in this country and maybe a little bit in Canada and increasingly in Mexico. There are billions of people that are not yet part of their of their audience that they are going to cultivate. So I don't know how quickly that will happen, but I don't think there's any obvious reason to think the world won't fall as in love with this sport as we have, because it's just so incredibly captivating. So I would say there will come a time when pro football will be as popular internationally as basketball is, let's say. I don't know how long that will take. Probably not 5 years, but probably not 50 either. So something in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 years from now, I think the league will have grown that much more. Now, the question becomes, will those other countries have their own leagues? Right? And in the NBA, there are professional basketball leagues all through Europe and all over the place. Japanese baseball, I've asked many people who are over there, they say Japanese baseball is a step above AAA baseball. That's how high quality the baseball is. Will there be
hockey,
NFL,
hockey,
American
a lot of international leagues
hockey?
As well, yeah, a lot of them.
Absolutely. Almost all of these sports have international leagues. So will all those people just become NFL fans, or will all of a sudden pro football spring up in all of these other places? I don't know the answers to those, but I think what I'm trying to say is there are tens of billions of dollars left on the table right now globally by pro football, and they will go get it.
And I think that's why flag football is so important to your last point right there. World Baseball Classic, you just watched what it did, being a global thing. The Olympics, whenever teams or sports are able to play in that particular thing, you get a unifying feel from all these different countries for said sport. I mean, the amount of people that became hockey fans in America because the boys and the girls won, it's like, hey, we like that. If football could have that in 10 years from now, that would be insane. But I think flag football would be the only way in, because I think the pads and the helmet and everything that it takes to kind of get into tackle football, it's like the flags can actually be dropped at parks and like at fields, and like, hey, put these on. And then once they start watching, and I assume the NFL is going to do a great job with the videos and commercials, and I assume the social and digital and how to play flag football, but it's like, that's much more accessible for people, I think, that don't really know the game. I think it's, let alone the women's flag football that can still, there is so much. It feels like we're not even near what football could be. And we are grateful for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are, Greeny. Yes, we are for that. Brother.
I got to tell you, my son and his buddy were over, so 22, 23-year-old guys. And I'm watching college basketball. It was the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. And they were dying to watch the flag football. Whatever this is, 2 weeks ago when all those guys did, Logan Paul and all the NFL guys played against the flag football players. So I will admit that I would not have turned it on otherwise. But we wound up watching the whole thing. And I will tell you, I was endlessly entertained. I thought it was outstanding entertainment. I thought seeing the NFL guys trying to figure out how to handle it. Luke Kuechly got a penalty on literally every play because he just kept hitting people. Brady threw the best pass of the day. Tom Brady right now would be the starting quarterback on at least 7 teams in the NFL. And I think when he said he was only kidding about coming back, I don't buy that for a minute. I think he actually is, or at least did give some serious thought to coming back. And why wouldn't he? He would be better than the starting quarterback on a lot of NFL teams. All of that said, I was endlessly entertained by the flag football, and I would watch it again. If there were flag football to watch, I would continue watching it.
Yeah, I love Tom Brady got to showcase a little bit of the pastime. Now, his team would only score that one. That was it. There was not a lot of other highlights as Team USA, the actual flag footballers, dominated the NFL guys. But yeah, Tom Brady showcased that he still got it. He said that the owners weren't specifically impressed with the idea of an owner playing in the league as well. What side are you on? Obviously, as we're going into a negotiation, that's probably going to be a part of it all. But the flag footballers that we have for Team USA, I think we're going to be winning every world championship.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how long it's going to take other countries to figure this one out. How about that move? Huh? That was the one. Running full speed. Bang, and a boom. Boom, bang. And they couldn't. You just couldn't. And then Luke Kuechly just, to hell with this.
Screw this.
To hell with this guy. And Jalen Ramsey, the same thing. So I'm not 100% sure if flag football to tackle football will be a 100%er for these international people that we get in. But the more people in the ecosystem, the better. And I'm excited for the game to continue to grow. Okay, the boys have a couple other sports questions, if that's okay, especially in the time that we're in right now. I know you know nothing about the sport of baseball. We're kind of the baseball people at ESPN now, but Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Greeny, I actually do view you as somewhat of a baseball historian, and this might be a little bit, overreactionary because it has just happened, but listen, the pitch clock was huge, cutting games down, so we're not spending 3.5 to 4 hours, when you're watching every single game like I am. But Do you think it's possible that ABS is the best development in the history of baseball? I mean, early on, we're only 6 games. We're only 6 games in. We got games ending on this. Like, it has added just such a flair and an excitement to really every game, and it doesn't matter when it's coming, whether it's the 3rd inning or the 9th or whatever part it is. Like, it has just been a rousing success so far.
Yes, I agree. And I would quickly say that the people who run Major League Baseball are always criticized and sometimes very much deserve to be, and never given any credit for some of the progressive moves that they make against the will of all of the traditionalists who sit out there and never want to stop telling you how much better the game was in the 60s. So they deserve a lot of credit for incorporating the pitch clock, again, against a lot of people's will, and now incorporating ABS, which I have been screaming for forever. First and foremost, the idea that umpires' mistakes or officiating mistakes are just human nature and a part of the charm of the sport has always been ridiculous. As I wrote in a book in 2010, Mike and I did a book, and we said the human element in sports sucks. It's the reason that we have deodorant. No, it's the reason we don't walk around smelling bad all the time, because we can do something about it. So why in the world wouldn't we use technology now that we can overturn terrible calls? I agree with you. The way they do the ABS, which has shown sort of there's like this drama, this dramatic build. For those of you who watch tennis, you've seen the exact same thing. When they show you it's in, it's out, whatever it is, you build to that moment. Yes. Is it the greatest change or invention in the history of the sport? I'd have to give that a little thought. I mean, there was a time when they lowered the mound. There was a time when there's the dead ball era. There have been some pretty significant changes in the history of the sport. But in recent memory, I think the two that you mentioned, the pitch clock and the ABS, have made it more watchable. See, that's the thing. All other sports make changes in order to become more watchable. And baseball fans and baseball traditionalists have always been hesitant to accept that. And that has never made any sense to me. So while I don't know if I'll say it's the greatest move they've ever made, I think it has been a rousing success and will continue to be.
You go back to the NHL work stoppage. I believe Gary Bettman changed some rules to make it more watchable, hockey, because it was getting too... It got rid of kind of the goon. The goon kind of got out, but they said it made it better. The NFL has been very, very aggressive in how do we make this a more fan-friendly thing with the rules changes. MLB doing that with the pitch clock, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I hated the whole pat-down, hand-check, spider tech thing that they have in there. Like Mason Miller the other day comes out to corn. That entrance was incredible. Pittsburgh kid, by the way, whenever you talk. And, yeah, Pittsburgh kid. He's throwing 104. He comes out for that entire thing. It's a big entrance. Old buddy comes out with the horns.
Edwin Diaz.
In L.A., they come out to that whole dramatic entrance. And then who do they meet in the thing? The ump giving him a full pat down. It's like, that can't be the end of him coming out here. Okay, can we at least wait until he throws a couple pitches to do that? Like, how do we make that better? I didn't like that. That's like, yeah, welcome to the show. And it's the ump. I need your hands. I need your hat. I need your belt. I need
your
ass.
fucking glove.
I need everything you got. Like that was just a weird thing to them to do. But it feels like that was a massive, apologize for the pun here, sticking point for baseball as a whole and pitchers. Is that accurate? Because they're sticking to this, it feels like, in the most ridiculous time just to showcase that they're doing it. They are doing it. This is a real thing. Why is this such a real thing, and why don't they all just use it?
How they do it is one thing. That they are doing it is the right thing. Okay. You're trying to increase the offense in the sport. So I'm older than any of you guys. I remember a time when everything wasn't a strikeout, when they weren't bringing in guys who were throwing 104 in every inning. So the offense, as the game went on and as the pitcher's arms wore down, it was more exciting to watch because you would see base hits and you would see guys getting on. And if you give pitchers unfair advantages, you allow them to violate the rule, either the spirit of the rule or in this case the actual rule, in ways that benefit. It would be like changing rules in pro football to benefit the defense. If you'll notice,
we don't want that.
50 rule changes in pro football in the last 30 years. Every single one of them is intended to create more offense. You want more things to gamble on. You want more things for fantasy. You want more things that are going to bring more people to the game and more people into the tent. So you can quibble with how they're going about doing it. I won't disagree with you there. But that they are doing it so that pitchers cannot have an unfair advantage, I actually think is the right thing to do.
I did kind of quibble there a little bit, if I had to say so myself, but I appreciate you laying out why we wouldn't want that as a society. So go ahead and pat them down then. I want big, You mentioned a lot of different eras there in development. Human science was a big era for baseball as well. I remember that one. We all did. We all watched that. Then rules obviously, everybody can't be just we can't be 280-pound baboons every day. That just is not a healthy thing. That's supposed to. You can't be 5'8", sir, and come back at 6'4". Like, that is not how this can actually go from a health perspective. But if we're getting, it's natural. Humans see big. Like, we will pay attention to that. I also think the stars performing is a big deal. This Shohei guy, can you tell me a little bit about this? This dude, I think he's driven to be a pitcher and to prove that he's an MLB pitcher and everything like that. I think that's his natural mentality after we got to talk to him a little bit. I'm not saying other people haven't found that out, but my feeling after talking to him is like, oh, this guy wants to be viewed as a pitcher. Like, he would like to be viewed as a good pitcher. So it seems like he's going to do that this year while also raking for the Dodgers. You, as baseball historian, baseball lover, can you try to explain this for me to explain it a little bit better, like the pat down that the umps did?
He's the best player that ever lived. I don't think that's an exaggeration at this point. He is someone who, if he were to pitch every 5 days, would right now probably be the betting favorite to win the Cy Young. So if you think about it, we've seen pitchers win the Cy Young and the MVP in the past. Not frequently, but it happens. Most of the time, voters will not vote for the pitcher as the MVP because they'll say he has his own award. And I've never actually agreed with that, but let's even say that is the case. Pitchers have their own award, it's the Cy Young Award, and position players have their own award, it's the MVP award. He could legitimately win both. He is inarguably the best offensive player in the game, and he is on the short list of the best pitchers in the game. That's never happened before. Certainly 100 years ago and beyond that, pitchers would also bat. And Babe Ruth is the most famous example of a guy who was a great hitter and a great pitcher, but never, and to this extent, never over this prolonged period of time. By the time he was hitting more home runs than entire teams were in the late 1920s, he was no longer pitching. To be as dominant a starting pitcher as there is in the sport and the best offensive player in the sport at the same time has literally never happened. Or if it has, not only hasn't happened in this century, it didn't happen in the previous century. So I don't think it's an exaggeration right now to say he is the best player that ever lived.
The GOAT. Okay. Yeah. Happy to see that we're a part of that. And I hope he's on, because he's already been on the mound for a World Baseball Classic Championship, right? Mm-hmm. He's already been on the mound in the 9th inning for that. Got the dub. It'd be sick to see him, Game 7, kind of handling that thing. And then also, why not?
Yeah, or walk off.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? And then on the flip side, doing the other thing. He's special, and he seems to be so locked in, especially with everything that has happened around him, Greeny. Like, that's all just like a blip, obviously, in his past and his recent history that we have kind of learned of this sensation, the greatest of all time, you call it. But there's been a lot of shit. There's been a lot of shit here. And when you got to focus on a tiny little baseball, I don't know how he's been. I mean, that's an incredible. And then there's 2 streaks happening right now that are just like outrageous. Longest on-base streak in MLB at 36 games. Oh, yeah, longest scoreless inning pitching streak in MLB, 22 2/3. And what if, Bruce just asked this question as he reminded me of this this tweet from MLB. He's like, what if this just goes forever? What if this never ends? What if that number goes to 180 games and this guy just continues? There's a chance that could happen.
Good.
Shohei will follow along with all of it. Okay, let's pivot away from baseball. Even though we've fallen in love this year, I don't know if you've witnessed this. We've done the baseball this year. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we've been doing it.
Because the sport is better. It's more exciting to watch for the reasons that we've just outlined. It is more exciting to watch a baseball game than it was 7 or 8 years ago, and I think it's only going to continue to go in that direction.
Yeah, I'm a simpleton. You make it better, I'll go that way.
Bingo.
You know, I think I'm probably a good little thermometer, you know? How's this guy feel? He's a dumb dipshit. That is probably a good idea. Baseball, good right now. You know what else good? College hoops. And it's different, it feels like. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Greeny, I feel like the Final Four has a lot of juice. I believe we got a Hembo stat earlier. This is the first time both games are under 2 or 3 point spreads. Yeah, here it is, 2 points. Rather, how do you feel about this weekend? Arizona, Michigan feels like a dream matchup for the Final Four. Then near national championship matchup, and then UConn, Illinois. The UConn finish was incredible, and Illinois has kind of slowly dominated a lot of teams on their road to the Final Four. What do you kind of expect out of Saturday and then inevitably Monday?
Illinois is really big, so I watch a lot of Big Ten. I went to a Big Ten school, so I watch the Big Ten all year. Illinois is really big. My instinct is to say that I think they win that game, but after what I saw Connecticut do on Sunday, you just can't bet against them because that was one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen. This play, this moment that you're showing right now, I think now that we've had some time, we did the show on Monday morning and we were almost wall to wall with it. But then I had a couple of days that I was traveling and thinking, I think it goes with the single among the most dramatic moments in the history of the sport, like those one shining moment montages, all that stuff that you see. It goes with Leitner. It goes with Chris Jenkins. It goes with Lorenzo Charles. I think it's that significant when you consider who it was against, when you consider that was in the Elite Eight. And I think it has to go with right in the group with the greatest moments in the history of the tournament and of the sport. So I wouldn't bet against Connecticut, but I think Illinois is the better team, and I think they win. Michigan, Arizona is like, I heard Charles Barkley say, that's Ali Frazier. They've been overwhelmingly the two best teams. That game Michigan played on Sunday was over in the first 10 minutes against Tennessee. They're ridiculously good. But I think Arizona has been better, and I think the single best player on the court is Acuff. So if I had to bet on it right now, I think I would bet Arizona, Illinois wind up playing for the championship on Monday night, and I would bet Arizona. I think they've been the best team in the tournament. I think there were moments all year where they looked like the best team, and I think in the end they are the best team.
Yeah, Arizona's outrageous. Obviously have knocked off some big names in their run in this. Koa Pete, who committed on our show to Arizona, who has football family in this entire thing, he's been special, man.
Yeah.
He's breaking freshman records all over the place. Then you go back to that UConn, the shot you're talking about being in the pantheon of March Madness magical moments. He's a freshman from Indiana, sends his team back to Indianapolis, which is where he's from, basically right here. I mean, there's just so many storylines around all the different games. March Madness's numbers are up immensely. I don't know if you saw that, Greeny. We're touching like 19 million for some of these games. Obviously, sports are fantastic, but these types of things are back and good for society. And the Elite Eight's good. Final Four's good. These guys got the mentality they want to win it all. Pete Thamel just reported that Dan Hurley was quoted as saying in his press conference today, "We came here for rings, not watches."
Okay.
Love it.
Good to know.
I guess you get watches for the Final Four.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah, so probably asked them about the gift bag, potentially how that whole thing went. We would like to be perfectly clear. We did not hear his actual quote. We are just strictly making up the context around Pete Thamel's quote that he has given here. But they certainly asked him about how nice that watch was and how many watches he's got, and bar came right out of his mouth. He's insane. Is this how insane in a good way? He's passionate. He loves his team. This man is a maniac. Is this college basketball like since the beginning of time? Because Bob Knight, obviously we remember that. I got a chance to watch Coach Huggins. I mean, he was an intense guy. Coach K, obviously, pretty animated over there. It feels like college hoops has a lot of passion, a lot of pageantry, a lot of emotion, and a lot of head coaches that are kind of the staples of the sports who are very charismatic, I would say, in its entirety. Is this how it's always been, Greeny, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yes. Well, because players have always come and go, and the coaches are the constants. The coaches have largely always been the biggest stars in collegiate basketball in particular. Even the greatest players in college basketball historically would only play 3 or 4 years, whereas the coaches are there forever. So when you think back to UCLA, yes, if you know about it, you would think of Alcindor and Walton. But the reality is you think of it as John Wooden's run. You think of Coach K and Duke. You think of those eras because the players come and go and the coaches remain the same. Michigan State basketball is Tom Izzo at this point more than it's Magic Johnson. The one thing there with Hurley, so I had him on Get Up on Monday morning, and I really regret that I had not seen this moment at that point. I don't know why I didn't see it. I don't know when that video went viral. I raced right out of the studio on Monday morning at 10 o'clock and raced to the airport to fly to Phoenix. So it wasn't until I got to Phoenix, I landed whatever time, 6-7 hours later, that I saw this. And so I so regret that I did not ask Hurley what the hell is going on there, because I Bob Knight, I never saw him do that. I never saw any coach, no matter how intense they are. I have no idea what that moment is about. I know they've both downplayed it, and obviously there was no outcome. But can you imagine if the official were to call a tech on there and the outcome of this game actually turns on that? So I don't know what in the world he's doing there, but that's something I've never seen a coach do.
According to our source, is close to the situation. They're telling us that he couldn't hear what the ref was saying. The ref was trying to tell him something. He couldn't hear what he was saying, so he leaned in. And then he has a very good relationship with said ref because we know he does have relationships with refs. So it just kind of, that's how it all came to be. I think that's why both the ref and he downplayed it. And I think Coach K, I think, immediately said, like, thankful that the ref did not decide to make that about it. Like, it was interesting how everybody a part of it spoke about it. And then all of us outside were like, that's an insane thing to happen in real time as outside the bubble. But Coach K, I think he said, like, in there, you know, like there's just a little bit different. And they were talking to each other or he was saying something to him. Nonetheless, insane storyline of this entire match.
I don't know. The quote I saw from Dan Hurley, and I don't know if he was kidding, is he said that he thought the ref was coming in for a chest bump. And I'm thinking to myself, the ref is not supposed to chest bump the coach.
Pretty cool moment, though.
After the game or at any point. Like, can you imagine if that had actually happened, if the ref had come running over, hey, coach, what a moment. I'm thrilled to have been on the court. Let's chest bump. Like, that's not something that an official does either. So it's just a weird-looking moment in the basketball game. And again, I am so regretful that I hadn't seen it, so I didn't get a chance to ask Hurley about it on Monday.
That would have been so sick.
Well, are they tapping each other up in that?
Could you imagine a full...
Hit me, Hurley.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, that would have been so cool. Then he goes to the next ref. Next ref comes in. The whole line. Oh, that would be amazing. I thought there was a chance before we reach out to our source that he was potentially like maybe thinking that ref wanted Duke to win and like was maybe some calls at him going, what now?
We win, bitch.
And then that not being like, because you can definitely believe that that's what he was doing there. And then they said, no, great relationship, trying to hear what he was saying. And then him saying I think he does just say stuff though. I think that is a part of the game up there. The boys love him though. I mean, old buddy Mullins, who made the shot, said he's his role model. He's his mentor. He's everything. And he does yell at him. He gets after it. It feels like that's how you win in college hoops. And we're excited to watch this Final Four this weekend in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. I think they're going to do battle out there. Let's go back to the NFL here. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Greeny, earlier in this conversation, you talked about NFL teams ruining young quarterbacks. I'm glad you brought up the Jets, so I didn't have to do it. And you're also a big fan of the draft.
That was 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I remembered it. I wrote it down. You obviously host the draft. You host a draft podcast, First Draft with Mel and Field. So I wanted to bring up, I saw on Get Up this morning, you guys did an alternating mock draft, or you showed the alternating mock draft where Ty Simpson was taken 33rd to the Jets. Do you think Jets fans would be mad about that with all the draft picks they have in 2027 and the quarterback class that is supposed to be coming out in 2027? Or do you think Jets fans would be okay with that early in the second round?
I think Jet fans would be okay with that. I think that there's some logic. I think it was Tim Hasselbeck who said today, there is some logic to packaging. The Jets have the 33rd pick and the 44th pick. To packaging those and moving up and taking him somewhere in the first round. If that's what they decide. If they identify Ty Simpson as a guy they believe can turn into a great player, and as you guys well know, there are very mixed opinions on him. Everything historically about him, there is trouble. So I told you this the other day, McAfee, but for those who have not heard, I think this is an important point. One year, when I was still hosting Mike and Mike, the draft was in Chicago, and I got on a plane to fly from Hartford to Chicago, and I happened to be seated just randomly next to Bill Polian, who I used to call the Frank Lloyd Wright of the NFL because he was the architect of all those great teams. And I grew to know him and really, really like him a lot when he was at ESPN. And he kept...
Oh, no. Drafted me too, Bill Polian, just so I get that in before Greeny went after it. And he lost his...
Oh, jeez.
Your connection's unstable. It's on our side.
In the Big Apple?
It says our connection's unstable. He was just about to tell us everything.
Yeah,
he told me. He was giving us the key to life.
He's on the inside, too.
I'll never forget.
There.
Okay, Greeny, you're blurry, but the message still remains.
I'm blurry, but I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Let's hope that this works. I think my signal is good. I hope that everything is good and that you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
So Polian said to me,
we're back.
He said to me, you don't draft the outliers. You don't do it, because everyone will point to the one success story of the guy who didn't have the 40 time and didn't measure the way you want him to. But what they don't show you is the 15 guys who failed. So you don't draft the outliers. So Ty does not check any of the boxes. 15 starts. He's only 6'1". He doesn't have a cannon for an arm. There are all of these things he doesn't have that would suggest that there is risk involved. Now, I'm not an evaluator. I'm just an aggregator of what people say. There are a lot of people who know a lot about quarterbacks, Dan Orlovsky, Jordan Rodgers, and many others, who are super high on him. If the Jets are high on him, then it might make some sense to package their 2-2s, trade into the back end of round one, A, to make sure you get him and no one beats you to him, but secondly, maybe more importantly, to get that 5th year. Because if he's going to be a developmental player, then you want one more year of him being tied to your organization before you make a decision. With regard to next year's class, I will just say this. If I could tell you how many times I heard people identify this year's class, 2026, as the year that was going to be loaded with quarterbacks. We're going to have Garrett Nussmeier, and we're going to have Drew Aller, and we're going to have Cade Klubnik, and we're going to have all of these, and it's going to be loaded. There's going to be 5 first-round quarterbacks in 2026. And now we're sitting here fighting over whether or not Ty Simpson makes it 2. So I would not count on all of those things working out next year the way everyone anticipates. You don't sit around and wait. There's only one Arch Manning. If you identify the quarterback and you like him, you take him.
Well, we'll see if Arch Manning next year at Texas. Sark came out and said that they feel different this year. Things feel different this year. They're going to go on a run. And we believe towards the tail end, Arch was... He's a bad Manning out there. He was a bad Manning out there. So maybe he'll go next year. Dante Moore also coming back to Oregon for another year.
Sellers.
I mean, there's a lot of return back to college to say, hey, let's maybe get a little bit better before we head up to the NFL. And let's also make millions of dollars in modern college sports before we do that. Greeny, we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your life to chit-chat with us, brother.
Guys, it's been much too long. Don't be a stranger. Let me see you. We'll be in Pittsburgh. So if you have time for me, I would love to come by. I'll be there starting Tuesday night for the draft. So I assume you guys will be there all week or something close to it. So if you have time for me, I'd love to come by.
Yeah, definitely. We will certainly be out there. We will see you Tuesday or Wednesday whenever we get out there. We can't wait to watch you crush it on the first night of the draft. And I want to let you know, Greeny, if you want to hang out here for about a minute and a half or so.
Yeah.
Yeah? Greeny, I got good news for you. I'm just eyeballing you from afar. You and your family. I know that there's some people that you hold in very high regard without ever having to really ask you how you feel about the person. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, in Pittsburgh, during the draft, Friday night, a man, a Yinzer, a legend, will be performing a free concert alongside Wiz Khalifa for the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, a man who's going to get a motivational speech from Mike Greenberg as soon as he shows his face on this show to have a great performance whenever he performs at the draft in Pittsburgh on April 24th. Ladies and gentlemen, Bret Michaels, the point set. Yeah. Hey, Bret. Woo! Hey, good to see you, Bret. How you doing?
You got me fired up. I'm ready to get in there right now and start this concert.
Yes, he is. Hey, Greeny, why don't you let Bret know what type of thing he needs to bring to this draft? The draft's only gotten bigger and bigger. The draft is now a spectacle. The draft is coming to Pittsburgh, where Bret is from. It's going to be the biggest and best of all time, Greeny. Let him know what he needs to be thinking about as he takes the stage for the NFL draft.
I'm telling you right now, Bret, first of all, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I've been a fan for decades. And I will tell you that this will be my 6th year on the draft. The draft has become like the Super Bowl. This is no smaller a gig. I want you to approach this as though this is like playing halftime at the Super Bowl. There's no difference. There's nothing smaller about it. The audience is enormous. There will be more people there in Pittsburgh live watching you than are actually in the stadium when the Super Bowl game is being played. Let's consider this let's go out there and consider this the biggest gig you've ever had in your entire life and just destroy it on that Thursday night.
Woo!
Okay. I'm going.
He's ready. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike Greenberg. Thank you, Greeny.
Wait, I just got to say, I'm a fan also.
Oh, shit. We hung up on him.
I'm fired up right now, Pat. I'm fired up.
Brett, he didn't hear that. We hung up on. No, he's still there. Hey, did you hear? He's a big fan of yours, too.
I'm still here. Yes, I did. That makes my day.
Thank you. I'm a football fanatic. I'm going to see you there. We're going to talk life, football. I said many times that sports, football especially, music saved my diabetic life and gave me inspiration. You just got me fired up. It's ridiculous. I got chills. I'm fired up.
Me too. Me too. A Pop Tootie out here.
Yeah.
Little Pop Tootie. Hey, Grinny.
Look, I'm not making that up. It's the Yinzer in me.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go downtown, everything.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You're killing it in that. And Grinny, one time with us, please. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's Mike Greenberg. All right, man.
I want to tell y'all, it's going to be, I'm so fired up. Wiz and I are going to bring it, and we have a title for it. We're going to have the black and yellow, nothing but a good time, and nothing but a good draft. All killer hits, no filler.
Okay, so that's the title. Hold on. We got to go back to, okay.
It was a little long.
Okay, but we got it. Hold on. I didn't know I was going to have to take the, okay, so it's the black and yellow, nothing but a good time, nothing but a good draft. All bangers, no filler. Is that what it is?
All killer hits, no filler.
All killer, no filler. Okay, black and yellow, nothing but a good time. Nothing but a good time.
Great song.
Ain't nothing but a good time.
Oh, you're getting me. Look at me.
Yeah, you look good. Okay, Brett, let's talk about this. Honestly, genuinely, you are Butler, PA, Pittsburgh man. And you've obviously went on to have immense success. Obviously, every Yinzer proud to see another Yinzer have great success. You love the Steelers. I think you have been very adamant and open about how much you love sports and appreciate the Steelers. I assume this was a massive call whenever you're asked to perform at the draft for the city of Pittsburgh that will never get a Super Bowl. This draft is the Super Bowl. So this is a massive football event in Pittsburgh. I assume you were very, very elated whenever you got the call for this, Brett. Is that accurate?
Beyond accurate. First of all, on a very sincere note, I want to say this. When I got the call about doing this, I was talking with everyone about it. I'm a 100% guy. As you as a fellow Yinzer, we're 100% guys. And I just want to say it was like a bucket list dream come true. Besides, I also told him, you don't ask me to come up and perform at this on Friday night. I said, I'm going to take gaff tape and gaff tape myself to the podium. So one way or the other, I'm going to be there. I had duct tape all ready to go. I was going in.
I like that. If you would have taped yourself there and Roger Goodell had to come out and stand at your podium for every single draft pick, that would certainly be a great way to get a part of the Pittsburgh draft. You and Wiz going to be performing together? How's this go?
So here's how me and Wiz, right? We got together. We met at Jay Glazer. We were throwing a party. We were raising a big charity event for the fires that happened. And long story super short, we went there. I was jamming. I brought up some stuff with some friends of mine. And we were on tour. I said, let's just grab the band. Went over and played acoustically for a lot of people. Wiz and I started just singing songs, doing stuff together. And it became, that's where it all kind of started right there. And we said, we're going to take this to the draft.
Okay, so are you singing together? You're doing your song, his song, together songs?
Here's what we're going to do. The way I feel it, we're designing a set together. And I got to say this to Wiz and his team and Will and everybody also from Pittsburgh and our team. Everyone is getting along unbelievably great.
Love that.
Everyone's like, here's how the stage could look. Where are we going to put the DJ, the double drums, and then we're going to mash the setup. And I think the way we'll do it, when we hit that stage, do a couple of ours, couple of theirs, and then come together and do one big grand finale, or throw it into the middle of the two and just mash it up. But nothing but hits from both of us.
Yeah, all killer, no filler, baby. It's black and yellow, nothing but a good time, nothing but a good draft. All killer, no filler show with Bret Michaels and Wiz Khalifa. Wiz, as you know, genius. The way he's operated through the business, same as you. I love the way you've navigated through the business yourself. And Will, we actually grew up in the same. Will's from Plum, so we got a lot of love for Wiz's team and Will, and we're very appreciative of you guys representing the city on Friday night. We can't wait to watch it all. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Steelers before we have to get out of here. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Brett, speaking of the Steelers and the city, obviously we get Yinzer legend Big Mike McCarthy back as the head coach. How do you feel about Big Mike coming back and just like what he has shown, the emotion he has shown since becoming the Steelers head coach?
Well, I'm going to say I'm rubbing the genie right now. I'm bringing it out. I think Mike is going to be amazing. First of all, I just want to say, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it in.
Boy. Yeah,
Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. All right, okay.
We got to finish it. We got a feeling.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Big Mike. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
The answer is I think Mike is going to do an amazing job. And I just want to be really clear. Mike Tomlin, 23, if I'm not completely mistaken, winning seasons, family friend. His son Mason comes on and does a bunch of the shows with me on the Live and Amplified tour. Love him. And where we're going with Mike, I think it's going to be incredible. Heavy on offense. And I just think, look, I'm a guy, I'm a believer. And I go in there 1,000% believing we are going to rock the world. We're going to make it happen. And I always say this, you can have all the skills, all the thrills, all the spills, you can have all that, but you got to have what Pittsburgh has. It's willpower. We got to have the willpower to just push it like Bettis used to do, to will it to win. Jack Lambert, throwing Harris to the ground from that moment on, it was go. We were winning that Super Bowl from that moment when he tapped Jarrell on the head. And turns out, by the way, Harris did a big diabetic thing with me, one of the nicest people in the world. I just want to go on record, but during that Super Bowl, I was with a bunch of friends of mine who were Cowboy fans, right? And that's all right. It's the NFL. Love who you love. Yeah, do it. But when Lambert got fired up, it was great. Sorry, I'm on a tangent.
No, it's good. Excited. I like what you're doing. Yeah, we can tell you're excited. Tell you're a fan. You were the thrills, the spills, and all that. I thought you were going to say hills because Pittsburgh does have
got hills.
More hills. The most amount of hills.
A whole lot of hills.
Yeah, we got all the hills. That's why I'm excited to see the backdrop of that draft, Brett. I think it's going to look amazing. I think it's going to be spectacular. I can't wait for you and Wiz to absolutely dominate the NFL draft. And we appreciate you taking the time and representing the city the way you do, brother.
Thank you. And I just need to say this before I leave the show. Thank you, and thank all of you. All of you. We watch it. I'm a fan. Thank you for all you do, all the hope, inspiration as a sports fanatic. You rock our world. We love y'all.
Hey, Brett, we love you. We love you.
We love Yins.
Yeah. Okay. I like what you just did there. All right, we'll see you down there, John Eagle. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen, Bret Michaels. Brett and Wiz, I like that.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Got a little jam sesh going on. Because at first you think to yourself, how's that going to go? And then you obviously know at Jay Glazer's house, they figured it out.
All bangers.
They've already figured it out.
That's how it's
all
gonna go.
killer.
Yeah.
No filler. So that's going to be, that means they'll probably transition pretty quickly through, because he's got 6 top 10s with Poison. Wiz has got what? 13?
A bunch.
I would
Not
say
to mention the
so they'll
mixtapes.
probably go not full. We'll probably get a bang and a pow and a boom.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable.
Glaze might actually be the conductor. He might be like sending
I
it
think
back
he is.
and
Didn't he
forth.
say that?
Free concert. This is all free. I forgot about this. The draft is free.
Yeah.
That's bananas. We're going to have so much fun in there. We're very grateful that we're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Who are Steelers going to take, Brett? That's what Ty wanted to ask. Just so everybody knows.
Just wanted to see what position group he wanted to attack.
Me too.
I didn't know how, when you wrote Brett on the whiteboard, you were going to deliver Brett. Was it going to be Brett? Or was it going to be, hey, Brett? Who knows? We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Kane Brown also performing on April 25th. We love Kane Brown.
Sultry voice.
That'll be sweet.
Bangers too, though.
Yes.
A lot of bangers there, a lot of intensity. So Friday night, April 24th, will be Wiz and Brett. That'll be second round. Thursday night is first round. Obviously, that's when we're going to see all the Steelers. We're going to see everything that first night.
Yep.
It's going to be wild.
I'm excited for it. There's been a lot. We think Pittsburgh Saturday?
Yes, they're going to be there every single day.
No Buccos game. because they're in Texas. We looked it up. Like, that will be the thing.
Especially if the weather's good.
If the weather's good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Because Saturday's when all the families take their kids down there to do all the draft, stuff.
Fun
Fan
stuff.
experience.
Yeah.
All right, I think so too. They're saying 700,000. I'm like, who's making up this number? Like, are you just like looking at houses and saying, 3 of them will come in, 2 of them? Like, how are you?
I assume they're just averaging like past drafts, like Detroit and Green Bay, and they're just like, oh, Pittsburgh's going to do the same as that.
I saw like numerous people that I have respect for their opinions being like 700,000 people trying to get downtown's crazy. It's like, yeah, I'd say that's pretty great. You don't really see Pittsburgh hosting festivals too much because of how in and out it is. I guess a lot of road closures too. Everybody's really pumped up about it, but they're saying 700. I'm like, who?
Yeah, you can't make the tunnels bigger.
Who projected that? No, I genuinely don't know. You know what?
Maybe BMAC.
The helicopter Uber should be
dominate.
But once again, if
water
the
taxis.
Once again, if the weather is
That's going to be great for the local economy.
Always is.
It is going to be great for the local economy.
Yeah.
We're renting out a couple of local places.
Exactly.
Excited for that. Got a couple of the boys from back home renting out a couple places. I guess there's a lot of shit going on around.
I bet.
There's a lot of stuff happening around Pittsburgh. Cannot wait to go say hello to everybody. Wednesday night we're going to have an event at the Cayman Science Center. That should be pretty cool. What?
Nothing.
You said now do you? What was
No, that's not what I said.
No, I think I know what I was going to say. It is a private event, unfortunately.
We don't know if that's 100% sure.
I hope it is.
Tone, I know. There's a lot of things. Isn't that crazy, Foxy, how there's always just like...
What's going on?
We don't have a clue what this event's going to be, but we do know that we're going to be celebrating Pittsburgh in a big way whenever we go back there. We're lucky and thankful that we're getting an opportunity to cover it, and the fact that it is back in Pittsburgh is cool. Like, that is a very cool thing, especially because we know how much Pittsburgh loves football, and Pittsburgh won't get a Super Bowl. So, like, all eyes on Pittsburgh being an awesome football town happened during the draft. We're lucky that we're going to be in the mix somewhere.
Thursday night, I'm sleeping on second base. Already called dibs. I'm walking over to PNC, sleeping on second base.
That'd be sweet.
I think if it's anything like the Biltmore, I don't think you're really getting in anywhere. You know, got 31 billionaires with us. They don't come to the draft, huh? The owners?
No, yeah. They'll be in their draft rooms.
None of the coaches, none of the GMs. It's only fans.
It's a nice little
I bet you
festival.
like that.
What's that?
Get it?
Say it's OnlyFans.
Jeez. Is that still doing it?
Oh, boy.
I don't know, Tony, is it?
That was a wild response right there.
I believe someone died, but
we hope everybody's
doing
okay.
The guy who
Obviously.
created it, died.
Really?
rest in peace.
To some Russian billionaire, I think he had cancer.
Rest in peace.
There was rumors
Or
on-
if he's back, I don't know enough about him.
Or Ukraine.
There was rumors on who's going to buy it. I really enjoyed those ones.
Let's get out of here. It's been a good little day, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
It has.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's been a
It has.
good
Good
little
time to
Thursday.
remind everybody that night 9 in Manchester starts
Go,
shortly.
go!
You need to get that in.
Whatever you do, and listen, I'm trying to find the crime. I can't believe we got a lower third. What
Thank
is
you. Finally, some good work coming from back there.
I wish you would have spelled a word wrong.
I can take it down.
No, Fox.
Yeah, go ahead, dickhead.
Oh, it's back up. Look at that, Con, man. Look, they're supporting you behind the glass. I like it.
I mean, look, but that's the thing about darts is it's just 8 Mavericks chucking. They don't need support. They don't need support. They're doing it no matter what.
8 Mavericks chucking. 8 Mavericks chucking. 7 dudes with gout. 5. All right, let's get out.
8 fat
Oh, that's not fair. Go with
7
Price.
blown games.
Go
6
with Price.
starts. 5.
180s.
Not bad.
4 falling drunks. 3 screaming hens.
2 big fish.
And 1 dart championship.
Yeah. Goin Price is not a fatso. He is fucking jacked.
He kind of looks like
To say that there's 8 is just not fair.
yeah. Cohen Price looks like Sarge.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice, including these darters.
Yeah, Littler's ripped.
I would just like these darters to one time care about darting, okay, when you're not darting. Think about darting.
They do.
Just with one decision that you make. Listen, I used to just tear it down. I understand. I didn't really care, you know, about my body and like health and everything. Now, granted, I was like 21 at the time, 22. These guys seem to be in their mid-50s-ish.
Littler's 19.
Yeah, that's
in
why
the best shape of his life.
That's why it was so abnormal. That's why it was so abnormal, because usually these guys are, 100 years old, and they can barely get the dart out of the board.
Yeah.
I can't be betting on these guys. I can't be hunting for the crown on these guys.
Yes, we can.
I can't be seeing another L in my DraftKings My Bets account. L. Because then you know what happens? Without even knowing it, I'm getting influenced into doing minus 1,100 bets.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just want to see you win. Because I'm on Littler and I'm on, go, Johnny, go, go. I'm on this guy. And I'm on this fucking guy. And I'm on this fucking guy. And every time I'm on these guys, oh, last night they must not have remembered they had a tournament today. It's like, what are we doing? I need them to lock in a little bit more. What I will say, the spectacle of darts, it did have me for a few.
Yes.
Still does.
The crown's on tonight. West Virginia Mountaineers trying to find the fucking crown.
Dial in.
Let's go, boys. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. Good show out of you guys today.
Great show.
Yeah, good show, man.
I think today was one of the ones for
It was a
record
fun one.
books.
It was a fun one.
A lot of guests. That helps.
Yeah. We're out of here pretty early. People are going to make fun of us for that.
Oh, piss off.
They're switching over to
Watching
anyways.
darts.
Be good.
We are not watching. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change. Because if you watch, it's hard not to be like, the less sweaty one looks like he's kind of dialed in today.
Exactly.
And it's Manchester, couple home courts.
Boards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Good luck out there, darters.
Good luck.
Go get them, boys.
I hope you battle through gout and all the other
Come on, Johnny.
hangovers and I assume just so much pizza sitting in there. Can't
Oh,
be
yeah.
great
Oh, yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
That's why
Intense night of pud pounding.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why it's town.
Let's enjoy this life. Let's watch darts.
Let's do it.
We'll be back tomorrow. We got a big time guest, a couple of them tomorrow, don't we?
Huge.
We got
Yeah.
some big stuff popping off tomorrow. Like, I think Coach K is going to be joining us.
Of course.
I think, yeah, there's a couple. I think there's a few. Toa Pete, I think, is joining us tomorrow.
Here we go.
The winner of Night 9.
I don't know. if they're
Hopefully,
there.
Littler.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.